All right. And we are live. Roll up, everybody, gather, come and join. One man went to mow. So we are doing it again. The 10 o'clock session commences. So gather, come be part of it. The hyperlink already in the comment section if you want to come on screen to engage with the talking points. Uh, Carry on commenting in the comment section if you'd rather interact with the session that way. So plenty of ways to be part of what goes on here, but be part of it. Click on the subscribe button as well, just so the platform goes up in the YouTube algorithm. Click on the like button as well if the session is to your liking. So a participatory sort of a session, this is what we run. An interactive session that is presented by yours truly, one man went to mow, this guy talking on your screen, who now invites you to come and spend however long this session lasts in his company. One man went to mow, the eagle has landed.
Only water, only water, where they see my water. Hapa oh night oh. Hapa you don't come oh. Hapa oh night oh. Oro kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù yé o. Ilé ṣọ́dí kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù rẹ o. Bobby master kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù rẹ o. Chief Faila ti kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù rẹ o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mù dé. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù dòdò jàre o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ Ghana ti dé ẹgbẹ́ bọ́dì o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ ẹ̀yẹ o ó dilé o. Odúyẹ̀lá ẹ̀yẹ o ó dilé o. Petrosonama ẹ̀yẹ o ó dilé o. Petrosodúnkẹ́ ẹ̀yẹ rẹ̀ ó dilé o. Ẹlẹ́kọ̀ ọ̀run mú ìní o. Àkùkọ ọ̀run mẹ́kọ̀. Ikú kò ní rí wa gbéṣe o.
And there we are. Iku Koniru Agbeshe, the mighty care guides. Iku Koniru Agbeshe asks, guys, I bring you this. Federal High Court declares bandits as terrorists. So now this is a move that a lot of people have been clamoring for, pushing hard against the Malam Buhari regime, who resisted with all of their might. But it looks as though a court has now taken that on board, and it is now a pronouncement of court and law. So again, Federal High Court declares bandits as terrorists. So it is now categorical now. If the IPOB movement can be designated terrorist, then the people savaging the country should jolly well be designated as such. Federal government ready to crush banditry. Malami boasts as court declares bandits as terrorists. So he now moves quickly to try and claim that spot as though it was his doing. But as the empire strikes back, the terrorists clap back. Declaring bandits as terrorists will cause more problems, won't change anything. The spokesperson of the bandit, of course, are Ahmed Gumi. So that is the response, very swift and very chilling from the bandits. So declaring bandits as terrorists will cause more problems, won't change anything, a headline attributed to the spokesman of the bandits, or for the bandits. Nigerian government set to publish proscription order for bandit groups after court ruling. So it looks as though that court ruling has now forced their hand, and they have no wiggle room now. because the only other wriggle room will be to try and resist that court order, which then weighs them firmly in on the side of the terrorist. So the court forced their hands, and now they are forced now to institute it in law. Our federal government to rent planes for Nigeria Air starting next year. So it's the clown in charge of aviation, this joker. It was the same guy that told us, by the way, that Nigeria will start manufacturing aeroplanes. He said that not quite 6 months ago. So Air Nigeria now, or Nigeria Air, is his new idea. And this idea, of course, to package his pension plan out of office. So you'll be expecting to see a lot more of these ludicrous grand schemes from all of the ministries going forward as they start to put together their package for one final looting of the treasury. He loots the treasury via this way, the aviation minister, federal government to rent planes for Nigeria Air starting next year. So we know what the pension plan then of the aviation minister is now. Nnamdi Kanu, Northern Coalition seeks audience with Buhari, but what are they looking to discuss? We'll find out in the fullness of. Nnamdi Kanu, Northern Coalition seeks audience with Buhari, so quite what they are looking to discuss about the Alpha One of the Eastern Quarters, we'll find out in the shortest possible time. And finally, we land on this. Buhari's controversial tweet on Biafra was not a threat. The presidency finally responds to that Twitter controversy, that outrage that stormed on Twitter going on a year ago now, about 8 months ago. Justin Buhari's controversial tweet on Biafra was not a threat. It's the presidency that gets the attribution for that headline, but quite what they mean we'll find out in the fullness of. So a lot to find out in the fullness of, but before, of course, we find out anything in either the fullness or the shortness of, first a pit stop via the Eastern Quarters, another Python dance.
Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unapoli Mary Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unapoli Mary Nandi bu onye du aimo. O Mary woni nizu biro ya. Abakare Mamanda ora, Unapoli Mary Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unapoli Mary Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unapoli Mary Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unapoli Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unapoli Mary Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unapoli Mary Nandi.
And there we are. Nnamdi continues to win the war. Python Dancy, Python Dancy. So Nnamdi continues to win the war. As guys, I bring you this. Federal High Court declares bandits as terrorists. So that's the opening salvo to this space now that we're likely to spend a lot of time in this particular session. A federal high court sitting in Abuja, Nigeria's capital, has declared the activities of groups linked to acts of banditry and kidnapping as acts of terrorism. So there you are. That's the first and most important part of now this breaking news. So we go on. Justice Taiwo. So there you are, a Yoruba man. So it had to be Justice Taiwo. So there you are. Justice Taiwo, in a motion ex parte argued by the Assistant Director of Public Prosecution from the Ministry of Justice, Abeno Kayode Alilu, specifically declared the activities of Yam Bangida Group and the Yan Tada Group and other similar groups in any part of the country, especially in the northwest and north central geopolitical zones in the country, as acts of terrorism and illegality. The judge also proscribed all other groups in the country, but I'm not sure why the mention of Mieti Allah is not in that mention, because they cannot fall under similar groups because they are the lead group of that space. So quite why this Yoruba man balked at that, we'll find out surely soon enough. The judge also proscribed all other groups in the country, irrespective of their names, whose activities and objectives are similar to those of Yan Bing Diga Group and Yan Tada Group. Justice Taiwo said he was convinced that such orders were necessary in view of the nefarious activities of the bandits and their effects on the nation's life, particularly on the people and its economy. He noted that the activities of the groups include but were not limited to banditry, kidnappings for ransom, kidnappings for marriage, mass abduction of school children and other citizens, cattle rustling, enslavement, imprisonment, severe deprivation of severe deprivation of physical liberty, torture, rape, sexual slavery, enforced prostitution, forced pregnancy, other forms of sexual violence, attacks and killings and in communities and commuters, and wanton destruction of lives and properties in Nigeria, the judge stated. So that is the brief description of that space that the Fulanis occupy within the Nigerian narrative. And the justice summed it up succinctly. So you don't really have to, there's not much more to add and certainly nothing to subtract now from the summation of Justice Taiwo. This is the categorization of the Fulani banditry that we are having in Nigeria. So the justices once again, he noted that the activities of the group include but are not limited to. So this is not even the totality of it, but this is the nub of it. So he noted that the activities of the groups included but are not limited to banditry, kidnappings for ransom, kidnappings for marriage, mass abduction of school children and other citizens, cattle rustling, enslavement, imprisonment, severe deprivation of physical liberty, torture, rape, sexual slavery, enforced prostitution, forced pregnancy, other forms of sexual violence, attacks and killings in communities and commuters, and wanton destructions of lives and properties in Nigeria. So that is the CV of your average Fulani, so like a rascal or criminal. But Buhari fought hard to resist that this sort of behavior that has now been captured succinctly by Justice Taiwo, this does not constitute terrorism. So if this, as described, and there's no word that was deliberately put there as an attack on them, this is what they do. And this is what they have been doing since 2015 when they came into power, essentially. At least they've ratcheted it up. There's no single word that is a maze or a hyperbole or an exaggeration of anything. In fact, these are tame, cold words. These are cold words of description. Banditry, well, that is their job. Kidnapping for ransom, they do, yes, of course. Kidnapping for marriage, we see that all those cheap up girls came back pregnant, mass abduction of school children and other citizens. Every single week they do that. Cattle rustling, that is their day job, enslavement, imprisonment. So all of these things, they are just descriptive words. These are not accusations. These are not acerbic attacks based on ethnic jingoism or bias. These are just cold, harsh words that describe the activities of a particular ethnicity within the Nigerian space. This is who they are, captured by Justice Taiwo. So they clap back, of course, but let's see what form. You know, they like to use that tequila. So let's see tequila now in play. Um, Federal government ready to crush banditry. Malami boast as court declares bandits as terrorists. So yes, well, it was an hour late and a dollar short, or however that phrase goes. You are 7 years into an 8-year term, and now suddenly it's dawned on you because the Yoruba judge has now declared your people terrorists, that you are going to crush them. Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami has said the declaration of bandit groups as terrorist organizations by a federal high court shows that the Nigerian government was determined to crush banditry in the country. And Abuja Federal High Court had declared the activities of some groups linked to banditry as acts of terrorism. The court also proscribed the groups. Reacting to the development through his spokesperson, Umar Gwandu, Malami said the court ruling proved that the federal government was taking the necessary steps to end banditry. The minister, who said the development followed an application filed by his office, said the declaration of the bandit groups as terrorist organizations shows that the federal government was acting in accordance with the rule of law. The development is a pointer to the commitment of the federal government to adhere to the international standards in respecting the rules of engagement in the fight against terrorism, separatist organizations, insurgency, and banditry in the country. By this declaration, the federal government of Nigeria has taken bold steps to deal ruthlessly with all terrorist groups and their sponsors in efforts to bring a lasting solution to the myriad of insecurity challenges in the country, the AGF said. Justice Taiwo of the Abuja Federal High Court made the declaration after a lawyer from the Federal Ministry of Justice, Aminu Kayode Alilu, argued a motion ex parte filed by the federal government urging the court to declare the bandit groups as terrorist organizations. The judge declared the activities of Yan Bindiga Group and Yan Tada Group and other similar groups in any part of the country, especially in the northwest and north central geopolitical zones, as act of terrorism and illegality. The Director of Public Prosecution, Federal Ministry of Justice, Mohammed Abubakar, who filed the ex parte motion, said President Muhammadu Buhari approved his action principally to proscribe Yan Bindiga and Yan Tada and other terrorist groups in the country. So they are trying to now just to align themselves now with the pronouncements made by Justice Taiwo. Declaring bandits as terrorists may cause more problems, won't change anything. Sheikh Gumi, Kaduna-based Islamic scholar Ahmed Gumi, has said designating bandits as terrorists will result in more violence in the country. He also said it cannot solve the insecurity problems, adding that banditry is part of socio-economic challenges confronting Nigeria. Gumi said bandits are herdsmen. So there you are. So they thank you, the spokesperson. The spokesperson for the bandits have now given us a pertinent and a potent clue. You know, this is a real breakthrough. Gumi said bandits are herdsmen. So there you are. So that justifies my headline before you come for me. Again, Gumi said bandits are herdsmen, and thus labeling them as terrorists is just a decision taken for political expediency. The Islamic teacher said all this in a statement issued by the Islamic teacher said all this in a statement issued by his media consultant and the Dan Iyan Fika Malam Tukar Mamu. So, what quite an Islamic teacher is having to do or feeling the need for a media consultant is beyond me. It's politicians that usually have media aides, but then, of course, he, the spokesperson for the bandit, which makes him a political actor. He said, I think the federal government has succumbed to media blackmail by a section of the country. It will not have any practical value because even before the declaration, they are being fought and treated as terrorists, he continued. So it is just a nomenclature which I believe will not change the dynamics on the ground. If you can remember IPOB, Indigenous People of if you can remember IPOB, Indigenous People of Biafra, was also declared a terrorist organization. The declaration was even backed by the order of the court. But as you can see, even the international community did not recognize the federal government's declaration of IPOB. So it has failed to be effective or to achieve the desired result. They have not been banned from traveling to other countries while their citizenship remains intact. It has not been denounced. So, what type of declaration is that? I sincerely hope that Nigerians will not take the herdsmen as terrorists, but should regard the criminality of the few amongst them against innocent people as acts of terrorism, just as we see IPOB and their attacks on security agencies and other northern citizens as acts of terrorism. So you note that he says other northern citizens. You know the politics that is playing there. So that is a call to tribe, of course, which is the go-to of the Nigerian space, a call to tribe and a call to religion. So he already trying to tribalize the space. Very few herdsmen are bandits. If you go through their population, I hope this declaration will not give the license to people to be profiling herdsmen in general as terrorists and taking the law into their own hands against them. It will cause more mayhem. The declaration will not change anything. It will not change the dynamics. Already the military is engaging them. It didn't stop them from kidnapping and killing. The declaration will not end their aggression against the society. The Fulani banditry is a socio-economic problem. We have seen it. We interacted widely with them. We told the federal government the way out. It can only be won through engagement, dialogue, and justice. That is why today there is relative peace in the Niger Delta because government has accepted the painful reality of rehabilitating and empowering them. There has to be equitable distribution of wealth in Nigeria and justice for everyone. People don't want to accept it. Before the issue of banditry that now affects all of us, the Fulanis have suffered so much. They have lost their legitimate means of livelihood. I mean their cows through cattle rustling and extortion by security agencies. That has to be addressed as a means of genuine reconciliation and integration. They should have a sense of belonging. So it changes nothing. Essentially, is the riposte from the bandits. Get lost is what they're saying. Essentially, to the government. Nigerian government set to publish proscription order for bandit groups after court ruling. The Attorney General of Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami has said the federal government's determination to crush bandits remain unwavering, even as the court granted application filed by the government to declare the bandit groups as terrorist organizations. Correspondents had earlier reported today that a federal high court sitting in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, outlawed the activities of groups linked to banditry and declared their activities as acts of terrorism. The court had asked the President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration to publish the proscription order in the official gazette and two national dailies. Justice Taiwo in the ruling on Friday had declared the activities of the Yan Bindiga group and the Yan Tada group and other similar groups in any part of the country, especially in the northwest and north central geopolitical zones, as acts of terrorism and illegality. In a statement by Umar Gwandu, his special assistant on media and public relations, Malami said the court judgment would enable the government publish a proscription order. The statement said the development is a pointer to the commitment of the federal government to adhere to the international standards in respecting the rules of engagement in the fight against terrorism, separatist organizations, insurgency, and banditry in the country. The Office of the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, in collaboration with relevant government agencies, including security operatives, are working assiduously to do the needful to take full advantage of this declaration. The government will gazette, publish, and publicize the proscription order. So there you are. It looks as though they've been boxed into a corner, essentially. So boxed into a corner, but the looting we go back to. Federal government to rent planes for Nigeria Air starting next year. The federal government says it will rent 3 aircraft to kickstart operations for the Nigeria Air slated for April 2022. HADI SIRIKA, Minister of Aviation, made this known to journalists in Abuja on Thursday. Mr. SIRIKA said it would take 3 to 5 years for an aircraft to be delivered to the Nigerian government if newly ordered, which will stall the flag off of Nigeria Air. To preempt this delay, the government has decided to adopt the wet lease arrangement, which covers the hire of an aircraft, including the provision of a flight crew and sometimes fuel. They will start with wet leased aircraft. And that's how 90% of airlines in the world have started, he said. So they will start with a wet lease of 3 aircrafts and then continue to expand, place orders, and then get deliveries, the minister added. He explained that investment options are open to Nigerians at 46% stake, while 5% belong to the government and the remaining 49% for foreign investors. Nigeria Air would be quoted on the stock exchange and Nigerians would be allowed to buy shares in the airline, Mr. Sadiqa said, adding that the government would begin accepting proposals from next week. We will release what is called request for proposals very soon, I believe next week. And this request for proposal will describe what and what we are asking for, he said. According to him, it will be purchased exactly the way you buy shares in every company. This is because Nigeria Air is a limited liability company for now, registered under the law of the land and structured in a private-public partnership manner. So you purchase it in the same way you purchase shares in any company. And later, it is our hope that it will be listed and go through IPO, initial public offering, and so on, he said. Furthermore, the minister said the government was preparing 12,000 hectares to accommodate Nigeria Air facility, which upon completion will be likened to an airport city. In that 12, so this is where the looting is, I suspect. This is really his money bit. In that 12,000 hectare of land, of which all of it is a free zone, there will be the MRO facility, a second runway, new terminal building, and various businesses. It is going to be a whole airport city, Mr. Sarika said. So there you are. He wants to build a city in 18 months. Haven't then promised to to manufacture an aircraft in 6 months and set up an airline in 4 months, and thus the fanciful world of Hida Sirika. From Hida Sirika to the Alpha One of the Eastern Quarters, Nnamdi Kanu, Northern Coalition Sikh audience with Buhari. Pardon me, this article has so many pop-ups on there, so I'm just clear it up a bit so I can actually see. Let's una momento, por favor. Una momento. The coalition of Northern Group CNG has sought an audience with President Muhammadu Buhari to present a case for Northerners violated and killed in a series of attacks allegedly incited and coordinated by the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra IPOB leader Dr. Nastura Isha Sharif, who Dr. Nastura Isha Sharif, who issued a statement on behalf of Northerners displaced by the attacks since 2017, said the group took a cue from the visit of the Igbo leaders to the president. A delegation of Igbo leaders had visited President Muhammadu Buhari demanding an unconditional release of Nnamdi Kanu, who is facing trial on treason charges. In his response, President Buhari said the delegation made an extremely difficult demand considering the principle of separation of power, but added that he will consider it. Dr. Nastura Asha Sharif, in a statement, said the CNG resolved to seek a similar opportunity to meet with Buhari to equally present the case for the North and table the plight of the bereaved and displaced families and relations who have inadvertently suffered serious personal and material violation as a result of Nnamdi Kanu's incitement and hateful campaigns. Whilst we do not doubt the right of the Igbo leaders or any other civil group for that matter to seek audience with and make request from the president of our dear nation, we are pleased to inform Your Excellency that at almost the same time, the leadership of the CNG was concluding a meeting in Kano with representatives of the estranged northern families adversely affected by the activities of IPOB under Nnamdi Kanu across several southeastern Nigerian cities. We are therefore craving Your Excellency's indulgence to admit in audience a joint delegation of the CNG and representatives of the victims in your office at your convenience. So there you are. The hell will freeze over before they let Nnamdi Kanu out of prison. Is essentially what the advocates are saying. So finally, to this generated a lot of controversy. That controversy is still raging because, of course, if you go to the People's Gazette, they have a clock that continues to tick, telling you how long Twitter had been banned in Nigeria. 175 days, 6 hours, 42 minutes, and 38 seconds, 39, 40, etc. So they are doing a countdown of how long Twitter has been banned in Nigeria, 175 days and counting. And the reason, of course, to this, Buhari's controversial tweet on Biafra was not a threat, the presidency. So let's first take that tweet and then we go to the rebuttal. Many of those, this is what he tweeted, Malam Buhari. Pardon me, many of those misbehaving today are too young to be aware of the destruction and loss of lives that occurred during the Nigerian Civil War. Those of us in the field for 30 months who went through the war will treat them in the language they understand. So there you are. He made reference to the war and then made that threat. But alas, it wasn't a threat, according to what we're about to find out, at least. Malam Garba Shehu, the senior special assistant to President Muhammadu Buhari on media and publicity, said his principal deserves credit over his efforts at tackling acts of terrorism in Nigeria. Shehu stated this on Friday whilst presenting a paper tagged Fake News Challenges of Information Management at the 10th year anniversary of the Federal University of Datsin in Katsina State. He revisited the issue that led the Nigerian government to ban microblogging site Twitter on the 5th of June 2021, insisting that it was the right call. Correspondents recalled that the Buhari administration officially put an indefinite ban on Twitter, restricting it from operating in Nigeria after the social media platform deleted tweets made by the president warning the outlawed indigenous people of Biafra IPOB and the southeastern people of Nigeria, predominantly Igbo people, of a potential repeat of the 1967 Biafran Civil War due to the perceived insurgency in the southeastern part of the country. The Nigerian government claimed that the deletion of the president's tweet factored into their decision, but was ultimately based on a litany of problems with the social media platform in Nigeria, where misinformation and fake news spread through it, have had real-world violent consequences, citing the persistent use of the platform for activities that are capable of undermining Nigeria's corporate existence. It is an opinion that the president's comment it is an opinion that the president's comment on IPOB, which led the banning of Twitter in Nigeria, was controversial. For many, it was not, Shehu said on Friday in Katsina. President Buhari has therefore been warning against social media disruptive and divisive influences, and the government's action is not a knee-jerk reaction to Twitter's preposterous deletion of his tweet, which should have been read in full. The tweet was not a threat, but a statement of fact. As a terrorist organization, IPOB poses a significant threat to the safety and security of Nigerian citizens. When the president said they will be treated in a language they understand, he merely reiterated that their force shall be met with force. It is a basic principle of security services response world over. This is not a promotion of hate, but a pledge to uphold citizens' right to freedom from harm. The government cannot be expected to capitulate to terrorists. So there you are. Fire for fire was what it meant as a response to the Igbo people. So there we are. So Thomas, we see you. Exiro, we see you. And Ajan Lekoko, we see you. So let's go first to Exiro, who we've not heard from in a while. Exiro, good to see you. Are you there?
It's good to see you too. How are you doing?
I'm good. Good to hear from you. I shouldn't be saying good to see you because you guys see me and I hardly ever see any of you guys. But the proscription then and the designation of a terrorist organization are essentially against the Fulani herdsmen who metamorph into Fulani bandits and of course an offshoot of Boko Haram. So at last they land at that point. The Fulani
Yes,
herdsmen essentially a terrorist.
yes, yes. What's happening now is just a re-echo of what we have been saying time and time again. I remember the last time I was on your show, we were arguing. You were actually arguing against the fact that we said that the government massacred people at the Lekki toll gate, and you said you spoke against it. You said it's not true. And I'm glad that the NSAS panel report has just
Is that what
has
you, is
just
that why you
proven
have
us.
come back to call me an
Yeah, that
Holocaust
yeah
and
yeah
an
yeah
Holocaust
yeah
denier? You want to call me an
exactly
Holocaust
exactly.
denier?
I'm back. I'm back here to come and to come
To
and
claim
wave
victory? Eh?
yeah, to claim my victory. Because
Mm.
sometimes I know you are trying to play the devil's advocate, so it doesn't look like there's nobody speaking for the government. But at this time in our history, you have to understand that there's a time when sitting on the fence is just you're just being on the enemy's side. You have to pick a side as it is now in Nigeria today. The as regards the declaring of the Fulani Herdsmen as a terrorist organization by the court, it's just it's what we all knew from time immemorial. We always knew this. Even Buhari himself is in a word for word battle with the current president, the current governor of Benue State, Otom.
Mm. Mm.
So if everything Otom has been saying has not been getting to you people or to a lot of people, I wonder what else they want as proof to understand that Buhari is behind this Fulani Herdsmen. The president of Nigeria is a terrorist. I'm saying it live and direct, and he knows that his time is up. These people are going to be sought after and tried like the Hitler men, the Hitler Nazi guards and their collaborators, and they know it. There's no way, there's no hiding place. Let me tell you something about the security situation in Nigeria that we might not know. We are citizens scattered all over the world. We don't know, but everything that happens in that country, the government knows. And they know that the NSAS panel will not just bring out a report indicting them if they are not backed by a foreign government. And I put it to you that the American government is behind that report.
Justify that. Justify that
And
statement.
I'm going to come back again another day to tell you I'm right and
Oh,
you are wrong.
guesswork, Abby. You are doing guesswork,
Yes.
eh?
No, I'm not. I'm not just guessing. You know why I'm putting it to you? Because now the government is sitting up as regards terrorism. They are now trying to, from the back door, all of a sudden declare the bandits and the Fulani Herdsmen as terrorists. They are now, all of a sudden, they now had the epiphany that truly they should be fighting the terrorists,
Look how
with
many lives have
with
been
everything we
lost
have.
since then.
Yes,
Look at just we're not talking the
yes,
tens, so we're not
yes,
talking hundreds. We're
exactly.
talking that we're not even talking
Thousands.
thousands. We're talking tens of thousands, if not
Yes,
hundreds of thousands.
yes,
Because a lot of
and
those killings they are grossly or underreported. They
yes,
killed and
yes,
killed and killed, and
yes,
now at
yes,
some point they drag you kicking and screaming to the designation.
yes. Exactly. And now they are now at a juncture where they must react because the NSAS report is not just an NSAS report. It was a panel, and whatever that panel has come out with is final, is finito. That means the only thing they are waiting for is just to wrap it into a package and present it to the president. There's not going to be any adjustments, removal, or what's it called, diluting of the report. It is the report, and it has indicted this government. And true to the report, apart from that report, there are several law cases. There are several suits filed against this report all over against this government all over the world. And Buhari's government is not unaware of the fact that other governments know what is happening in Nigeria. Even they know things that will happen before they happen. They know the Nigerian situation like the palm of their hands. They know the Biafran situation, the Biafran war. That's why Twitter deleted what Buhari said, because they know the history of the Biafran war. It is a grossly unreported genocide. You know what happened to the Jews all over the world. You know how Europe deals with that today. That is how they know of what happened in Biafra, in Nigeria. And for the president to have used such words, it just re-echoed the situation of the Jews. Man, I think you owe me a bottle of beer. You know, you owe me a bottle of beer.
Here you come again with your hyperboles, you know.
You owe me a bottle of beer.
Where is the equivalence between the Jews and the Biafrans?
I'll
Come
tell
on.
you what happened. The war in 1967 to 70 was not an equal war. It was a massacre of a people
Or
just
is it
because of what.
hyperbole? Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
no,
go
it's
on.
not a
Yeah.
hyperbole.
Yeah.
They started the massacring from the north. What is the business of the Igbos? And when they refer to Igbos, they are not just referring to the people speaking Igbo. They refer to everyone in the south, and southeast as Igbo. You know, and they started massacring from the north. And you know what led to the Aburi Accord? And then what led to the war? And there was no war. It was not a war. It was just a takeover. They just went into this place and started. What is the use of starvation? Is starvation a form of war? That is a war crime. And the world knows that nobody was tried for these things. Nobody was brought to book. Nobody. Look at what Murtala did. And he's on the Naira note. Look at what he did in Asaba, in Anyoma, and he's on the Naira note, on the 20 Naira that you use. And nobody till date has been brought to book. Nobody was tried. Nobody was put in
Were the
prison.
Biafrans innocent in that war? Did they not carry out atrocities too? Because there are
What did
documentation, volumes of documentations of
you mean?
abuse.
I expected better than
No,
that, man.
no.
Let me tell you
In the
something.
Delta
Let me,
region, they savaged.
uh, yeah.
Come on, man. I've had a gentleman, a man in his 70s, he's come on this platform to narrate
Mm.
just gory details of what he went through in that space, first
In the
hand,
hands of, in the hands
in
of
the hands
who?
of the Biafrans. In the hands
The
of the Biafrans.
Biafrans.
Yes, he
I
was
mean,
a
when you talk about the
Bendelite.
Biafra,
He
yeah,
was
well,
a,
when you talk
this
about
was
the
this is a
Biafra,
senior man. This was quite a few months ago now. He came on this platform and it was quite quite
when you talk
chilling
about,
stuff.
when you talk about the Biafrans, now you're mixing it up. Now I'll put it to you that the military did what they did. The
Hmm.
military is a mixture of Yorubas, Igbos, Hausas, Kanuris, and all ethnic, almost every tribe in it. They took down what's his name? Was it Ahmadu Bello and the then prime minister, because of the rhetorics of the Ahmadu Bello himself. He was divisive. He entered places that are the national institutes, and it brought aside people of his ethnic groups, and he was dividing the country. You know these histories. And then the military, listen, not the Biafra now, because when things happen, people now start saying, "Oh, this one is Igbo. Oh, this one is Bender. Okay, they are majorly from this tribe. Let's deal with them." What is my business as a bloody civilian? What's my business with the military? Why would you not face the military, and why will you go after civilians? You see where I'm telling you that this is where we have a problem. People do things, the airlines do things, and the military do things, and then they put it on the poor man, on the poor masses. What is the common trader? What is the common man business with the military business? As far as I'm concerned, that was a military business, and they should have ended it as military men. If one military man does something, okay, go find him. Why would you go and start massacring civilians in the north and then start a war that starved civilians? You see, that's the
What
basic.
has this got? What has this got to do with the designation of the Fulani headsman as a bandit? You
No,
guys should move on.
I'm
You've not
connecting.
moved on. Eh?
I'm connecting why
You are connecting the dots.
I'm connecting why the Buhari administration is shaky, and why they
Mm,
are hurriedly trying to put the blame on the Fulanis, and then
mm,
why they are now hurriedly going to start using all the Tucano jets to focus on the bandits, which of course they have been given the safe corridor for how long now? You want to tell me that we, the civilians, we who don't know anything, we are wiser than the government, we that have been shouting that this government is corrupt, this government has been facing its military might upon innocent civilians on the wrong geographical zone. You want to tell us that we know better than this government, that the government is just realizing with all its intelligence, they're just realizing that, oh, they've been wrong all along, that truly the Fulani herdsmen are terrorists. Are you trying to tell me that? The government is wiser than every one of us. If they say if a skirmish lasts more than a week, the government is behind it. They are just scared. So I'm linking this with what has been happening before.
Okay, so what do you think this designation would mean then? Because Sheikh Gumi, as he would have it, they are just empty words. He is saying that there's nothing that this designation would have in material effect. They are already sending the armies after them. They are already trying to weigh upon them in every way that they can. So this designation is not going to add anything new to the mix. So what are you making then? Just empty words, essentially, is what you're saying.
You see, the problem with Nigeria is Nigerians, they never wake up. This is the time where this is the time the real answers should start. This is the time when we should enter the street and say, we don't want this government anymore, you should go. This is the time. But there's no other time better than this. One, the NSAS panel report has just indicted this government for killing its citizens.
Do you think hold on? Do you think it's a diversionary tactic, this designation, to move the story away from that NSAS panel? Do you think it's a diversionary, because they are notorious for these sort of things? Just they'll bring a bigger headline to overwhelm the headline that weighs against them. So this is now a bigger talking point they will suggest than the NSAS, or at least it dilutes that narrative, because this is what we're talking about now. Is this a deliberate ploy to move the story away from NSAS?
I don't think it's a deliberate ploy. I think it's just a hurried. It shows a sign of a government that is under pressure to show to the whole world what they already know. You know, to show to the whole world that they are not behind the killings. You know, when I was relating this with the Biafran massacre, you think I was just going back to another story. No, this is it. There's been massive killings in Nigeria, and the NSAS report came out. And now, since that NSAS report came out, the government has been trying to say, okay, now we have realized that Fulani herdsmen are terrorists. What does that tell you? It's telling you that they are trying to clean their hands off all the killings they've been doing, and they are trying to take our minds into the Fulani. Yeah, you can say it's diversionary, but at the same time, they are under pressure. They're under pressure. Buhari cannot. The people who are using Buhari to commit all these crimes, believing that he's old, and when the time comes for him to be tried, he will claim Alzheimer's. Or maybe
thank you for saying that, X0, because I have been trying to introduce that as a talking point for months and months now.
Yes. They are trying to use him.
Don't move away too quickly from that space, because what you've just said there, X0, is the very core of what is going on in Nigeria. A lot of all these atrocities, it falls under one banner, the Buhari regime. Now, Buhari is an 80-something-year-old man, frail of health and faded of mind. You know, so when it comes to then, when you take this guy to The Hague and he cannot even remember his name, what are they going to? Because once the medications are removed, this guy will and they will remove the medications as soon as he's out of office. All that insulation that they're using to prop him up, they will remove it as soon as he's out of office. So then a lot of atrocities is just been hidden under his debilitation, his age, and the fact that they know that he is the arrowhead. Who elected Malami? Nobody now. Who elected Burutai? Nobody now. Nobody elected all of them. Who Fantua? Who elected him? Nobody now. So they just do these things and they walk away.
No, but you know, that's what I'm telling you. The beauty of it is it's going to when I relate this thing to the Biafra and the Jews, you think I'm just relating it. This is the point I'm coming to. We are going to take their case just like the Nazi collaborators were dealt with. Simple. Every member of this government is indicted already until found innocent. We're not going to say you are innocent until you're found guilty. No. Just like the Mossad went after all
You
the
make up
Nazi
your own laws.
collaborators.
You make up your own laws, eh? You
No,
want
no,
to
no, 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 no,
you want to be
no, 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 no.
extrajudicial. You want to go
Let
outside
me
of
tell you.
law.
Let me tell you what happens. Let me tell you what happens. Sometimes it's the court of the public opinion that's going to determine the fate of criminals, which we already know. Because of the gravity of the offense, the gravity of the crimes these people have committed, every collaborator will be, even the likes of Femi Adesina, has no hiding
No,
place.
he's not getting away. He's not.
He's
None
not
of
getting
them are.
away. They are all collaborators. They are all collaborators. They have killed, they have massacred, they have killed thousands of Nigerians. For no, if you look, I was just this your program just came at the right time, just finishing the Hitler series. So I saw bodies, and this is the way
So
bodies
that's
are
what
piling
charged.
up.
So that's what charged you up. Look
No,
at
no, no,
that.
that's not what
So that's what
that's not what
charged
charged me.
you
But
up.
no,
Eh?
sometimes when you relate things, you get a better picture of how criminals should be treated. I saw the way the Israeli Mossad went after this. Sometimes they went into countries which they thought they were safe, and they snuck them out.
Have you
This
ever
is how
read
we're going to check.
Have you ever read the book or watched the film Alex Haley Roots Kunta Kinte? Have you watched that?
No, I've seen the Kunta Kinte film. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I've seen it.
When
Yeah.
that film came out, black people were so angry that they went around just any white person that looked at them a funny way, they would drop his jaw. So that is what's happening to you. You've gone and watched Hitler
No, no,
films,
no,
and now
no, no.
you
No,
are
no,
Biafra
no,
dog. Look at that.
no, 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 no,
Look
no.
at
But
you,
you know,
man. Next zero.
you know,
Is this
but you.
Kunta Kinte? Are you coming there to do Kunta Kinte? What's wrong with you?
No, if you want to talk about the
Eh?
Kinta, if you want to talk about
Eh?
the Kinta Kinte, you know of the George Floyd issue. The George Floyd one came up, and I trashed them
Yes,
at my place of work because
there
he
you
charged
are.
me. Yeah, but
Yes.
again, but then again,
So it's the Hitler film you've been watching that you are trying to equate to. Okay, I know where you're
no,
coming
but
from now.
Baba, you need to understand that
Yeah.
Africa is grossly underreported.
Mm.
The gravity of the crimes going on in Nigeria right now. You don't even understand the gravity. You know that corruption is very powerful. With corruption, Nigeria has become so powerful that we are now picking up citizens from outside, from Kenya. Even Benin Republic is on the verge of sending back Igbo to Nigeria. I never knew Nigeria was this powerful. I thought Nigeria had faded away. But look at what corruption is doing. Look at what the crimes this government has committed, and it's trying to cover up. Look at look at the kind of power it has given to this government that they can now set their Interpol soldiers everywhere, picking up people who are against them. Look at how powerful it makes Nigeria look. But they're just trying to cover up. The likes of, I was even coming to the issue of the likes of Igboho and Nnamdi Kanu, who are now
But
in
it is
prison.
not really powerful, though. It is abuse of power. Because Nigeria has always been powerful, but that power had always been benign. It's always been a power for good. But then it just shows, you see, what this Buhari administration has highlighted above everything else is just, like you said, one, how powerful Nigeria is. We've always known, but now we see. But then also how flawed the system is. So if you have somebody like this that is not fit for purpose, there's nothing that can stop him from abusing power in the way that we're seeing power now being misused.
Exactly.
So a lot of things being highlighted by this Abokigi from Daura guy.
Exactly. And then with this law, with this court that has now pronounced the Hausa Fulani herdsmen as terrorists, that will now mean that the likes of Igboho and Nnamdi Kanu were helping the government. They were fighting for Nigerians by saying that Nigerians should defend themselves against terrorists all along. So that now means that they are innocent. In fact, they should be given medals.
Yeah, OBN.
You see?
Order of the Niger or something.
Order of the Niger of the
Order of the Niger of the Niger.
I'm telling you, member of the Order of the Niger,
Yeah, that one.
Because now that the court has now said this, what does it now make the likes of Nnamdi Kanu and Igboho? Can you please explain to me? What does it now make them look like?
You know what they say now? One man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter. This is what they said about Mandela. One man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter.
Of course, Mandela was termed a terrorist until he went in for it. He paid a huge price. How many years of his life? 27.
In
prison.
fact, all of his life, essentially, because
All
if
of
you
his
look at
life.
the time that he spent in prison, he spent his prime years in prison. So
Yes,
that's
yes,
he came out of
yes,
university, he became an agitator, they locked him up, and he came out an
yes.
old man. So essentially, all of his life in prison.
What they wasted that man's life. They
Mm.
wasted his life. And now we are seeing this situation on ground now in Nigeria. And we are talking. Thank God for the people like IPOB that have been taking this matter to the international courts. They've sued the American
Look at
government for
that.
selling Chicano jet. No, no,
You
no,
were
no. I'm not trying
doing
to.
so
I'm
well.
not trying to.
You always have
No,
to
no, no, no. Wait.
Igbofy. You
No,
always have to
no, no,
Igbofy
no.
everything. Eh?
No, no, no. But let me tell you something. Let me tell you something where you're
Mm.
getting it wrong now.
All
Okay.
right.
Is Nnamdi Kanu not an IPOB member?
Yeah,
Is he
he's the
not the leader
IPOB
of the
leader.
IPOB?
Yes.
What did he do to warrant the Nigerian government to go pick him up and lock him up? He was telling Nigerians to pick up arms against the Fulani terrorists, right? The terrorists. Am I wrong? Now the court has now
No, it was a
adjudicated
fugitive
that.
on the run. It was a fugitive. It was a convict on the run. It was a
No, no,
suspect
no,
on the
no.
run.
We should not allow corrupt people to tell us what to say. You and I
No, no,
know
no.
what he has been fighting
We're
against.
saying to the fact he was on bail. He jumped bail, which made him and escaped the country, which made him a
And
fugitive. Does that not
but
make him a fugitive?
an illegitimate government cannot make me call somebody a fugitive
What
when
do you
it
mean?
was when it was.
What illegitimizes it?
This government is illegitimate now to our eyes because they have committed a lot of crimes. They're like the Nazi government. There's just no
No, the
difference.
Nazi government was still a government.
Yes, but it was
It's just
illegitimate
an
because in
evil
the eyes of
no, it is not. You see, this is the thing. Okay, carry on. Let me not interrupt you too much.
yeah, I will not, because it is the people that legitimize the government. And if the people say that this government is not ours, if you ask 100 Nigerians, almost 90 of them will tell you we don't recognize this government as our government. What does that tell you? We are the people. We are the people. Yeah.
X0,
I can
what
hear
do you
you.
mean by
Yeah.
illegitimate government?
No,
What
we
do you
have
mean by
not
illegitimate
accepted.
government?
We have not accepted this government. We find this government repulsive, and we all say no to this government. This government should just resign and go. Their staying power
Really?
is corruption. Yeah, their staying power is corruption. Their staying power is rigging elections and keeping themselves there, killing and putting fear upon their opponents. That is what their staying power is: killing people and terrorizing. They're terrorists. If you don't recognize that this government is a terrorist, I don't know if you're going to recognize anything again in Nigeria, because completely this government has no trust. And if you watch the rhetorics from the American government, they always say the government, it's up to the government to now look for a way to get the trust of the people. This government we don't have any trust in this government. As far as I'm concerned, the military can just enter anywhere, pick people, shoot people, do anything and go. That is what is happening. And we don't recognize this government.
But
Its
is that
staying
not
power
what
is
has
terrorism.
always happened? Is that not what has always happened?
We were almost getting out of this kind of mindset, because don't forget we had military rule for many years,
Yes.
which was illegitimate. I've spoken on
we
that.
have military rule
Yes.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I've spoken on that several times on your show. I told you that for us Nigerians, what we should do is to delegitimize all military government and then cancel all the laws they put together. I said that before. I'm not.
No, I agree with that. I've
Yeah.
said that in the past too.
Yeah.
I've said that somebody should go to law like a FULANI and go and challenge all those military administrations.
Yeah.
Exactly. Just to interject you a little bit, X0, a lot of people clamor for that first constitution. If somebody is able to delegitimize the military administrations that will that we've had in Nigeria, that will automatically regress the constitution back to the original one. Because if it's not legitimate, then everything they did is cancelled.
It's cancelled. Exactly.
Somebody should challenge that space, but of course.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. And this current administration is even worse than those military administrations. You understand? So what will now make me accept a government like this? Look at how many people have died. That it has not affected your family member or that you have not carried a coffin in your own family
Can you
doesn't
put
mean
a
that the
figure
people who
on
are
it from 2015 till date? Can you just guess
how
at?
many people have died?
Yes, just as a consequence of direct and indirect action and inaction of the government, as a consequence of action and inaction of the government. I'm not going to hold you to it, but just guess
Mhm.
at a figure.
Man, it has run into millions, because if you count the number of people who are displaced permanently from their homes, they will never come back to their homes. They've run to neighboring countries. They are in millions, and the people who have died have gone into millions too. Because when you are running, you don't have anything to eat, you don't have money, you don't have work, you die of the minor diseases like malaria and typhoid. So that is part of the reasons why people are dying. There's no jobs. People are dying of starvation. People are dying in camps. People are dying by gunshots. People are dying by, this Boko Haram started with bombs and all those things. And these people started when Buhari came in. If you count all those, they have run into millions. They have run into millions. The people in Southern Kaduna have been dying every day. The people in Plateau have been dying every day. The people in Benue,
We've even seen Governor Otom crying on national television, out of the hopelessness and helplessness of it.
Yes.
And now at the 11th hour, they are telling us they are terrorists. What were they before?
They're terrorists. Can you imagine? Okay, now you are saying, now you are the one picking my points. We don't need to be told that this government is illegitimate. We didn't recognize it. It has to be put down by every means. The president has to be arrested by the citizens. If that is possible.
You can lead the march to Aso Rock now, and don't worry,
I'll
look at this guy.
Of course. Even if let me even put a point to you. Let me put a point through to you. Let me put a point through to you. You remember what Buratai said when they asked him about his allegiance? He said he owes his allegiance to Buhari, not to Nigeria. Do you see how they retired people who were about to become commissioners of police or any of the three major, the Air Force, the Navy, and the Armed Forces? You see how they retire them before it's time, if they are not from the same tribe? Do you see the fulanization of the country's most precious posts? Do you see that the military is now occupied by people from the northern part? Don't you see this? Do you see the safe corridor? Do you see the incursion of these people, the criminals from the safe corridor into the military and posting of same to areas where these people are clamoring for breakaway, and they term the people who want to break away because they are suffering, they term them secessionists. You see the language? You see how, if you're not careful, you can be railroaded.
Is that not the technical term?
No. Let me tell you something. If you are hungry, if you are being undermined, if you are being
I'm not saying it's
marginalized,
not justified, but is that not the technical term?
If you want to go into terms, then I just told you.
If you want to forcefully remove yourself from as a body of people, if you want to forcefully remove yourself from a sovereign country, is that not secession?
Okay, then you have to tell me the technical term for the removal of the Southern Sudan from Sudan.
They did not do that via law. They did that via law, not via guns.
And when law is not possible, when
Kanu and his boys want to do,
and when the rule of law is not possible, tell me what people. People were picked in their homes. People were picked in their gatherings, just where they are having meetings or where they were worshiping. People were picked out, and some of them were not seen up to today. People have the right to gather and say they don't want to belong to a union. People have the right to campaign. People have the right to preach. Why do you go and arrest them and shoot them and kill them? Is there any justification for that? No,
they took up arms against the state.
No,
they did not take up arms against the state.
the early stages of these things were peaceful protests and peaceful rallies by these people. Don't forget that these people were being chased up about when they were making peaceful rallies. They go out to preach from house to house, and they were being stopped by the military, and they were being gathered
Is
and
that not the
imprisoned, mass
response?
incarceration.
Have you seen the Shiite rallies recently? Do you see what happens
That's all.
there?
Yeah, that's also one of the crimes of this government.
Hmm.
That's also one of the crimes of this government. So when I tell you that this government has committed a lot of crimes, and Buhari is just being used as the arrowhead because they know when the time comes, he will feign Anastasia. What's that word? Amnesia.
Hmm.
He will feign amnesia, and then the likes of the Buratais and the what's in okay, some of them have even died, but the likes of Malamis and Pantamis
Hmm.
will just hide in Saudi Arabia or one of those countries because some of these countries are giving them liver. They are giving them, telling them, go do this, go do that. We have to colonize this country. But you know, they cannot colonize Nigeria in any sane way, apart from gradual Fulanization and Islamization. That is why you see that the Yoruba states are surrounded. All the forests in Yoruba states are surrounded. I told you about my farm, right?
Oh yeah,
That was
you're the one
where,
with
yeah,
the hectares that you lost to
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah. I told you about it. Before then, before the US military intelligence gave us that report that the Al Qaeda was coming through that axis,
Hmm.
my farm hands were attacked. They were attacked twice. They had to leave the place. We were finding it difficult to do anything there. After clearing and trying to harrow, and these people came to attack us, we find it difficult to do anything there. And then when the American intelligence came, I just gave up. I knew it was a no-no. Ibarapa area is one of the most fertile parts of Nigeria. Oyo State is supposed to be the richest state in Nigeria because of the land mass and the agricultural land in that state, the Okeogun area. And this is what my research told me and where I went for before Buhari said no with his league of assassins and terrorists from all angles. So when I'm telling you things, I'm not just telling you things from.
So this is personal now. This is economics for you. This
Yeah,
is
I
so
have
is your
personal
so
grounds. I have.
look at this. Eh?
It's like this guy is no, when you are
It's like it's
planning things
after
for
you
years.
personally, isn't it? It's
Yeah, it's
after you
actually personally,
tribally, it's after you
you know,
economically, it's even
you
after
know,
you physically. Eh?
yes, I've never seen such a thing like this. It's like a Armageddon.
Hmm?
Every other government we had, they
I
stole
hope it's
oil
not
money.
haunting your dreams. Is Buhari haunting
This
your
this
dreams? Do
guy,
you wake up? Do you wake up
this
in
guy is
cold
probably
sweat? Eh?
this guy is probably in my dreams. He's probably in
Yes.
my dreams
Yeah.
because it's like Have you seen the white walker, the walkers? It's like you sleeping and zombies are trying to get into you because I've I've looked back at other governments. What they stole is oil money because we had oil, but this government came, they stole the oil money. That one is not enough. They took the Zamfara gold. That's not enough. They took all the paracetals, everything. That's not enough. They even took farmland. That is how to tell you that this man is out. This Armageddon. This man is out to wipe us out. Who steals from the farm? Even these terrorists are now collecting rent from farmers. Who does that? You're taking from everybody, even the poor. Who is left? Who is left in Nigeria? Who is left? Everybody. The roads are not good. The transporters cannot move. They are being kidnapped every day. I'm sure nobody can move. Just the other day, they bombed the railways, the Kaduna Abuja rail. People are now scared, And the other day, the bandits were coming towards Abuja. So what is left? Everything is going. Everything is rotting away.
All right. Since you are speaking to the East-North divide, X0, speak to this. So just recently we saw like a body of Igbo elders go to schmooze with Buhari in Aso Rock, and they managed to charm him into giving consideration to an unconditional release of the Alpha One of Igbo land, Umahia Bond. But very quickly, the Northerners have put together a group to approach Buhari to insist then that Nnamdi Kanu must die in jail. So what are you then making then of this Northern Coalition group that are insisting that Nnamdi Kanu must never be released from prison, ever? What are you making of that?
First and foremost, I must tell you something, that these northern groups, they don't speak for the northerners. They don't. If you go to the common man in the north, they're angry with Buhari. That's just by the way. Now, I think what the Southeast elders have done is not a bad thing, but I think, sincerely speaking, they're just trying to give Buhari an easy route out. They're trying to make it smooth for Buhari to escape his crimes. He's arrested. What are they going to, what do they expect Nnamdi Kanu to do when he comes out? To mellow down and stop talking about the security situation in the Southeast?
Why not?
Do they expect?
Why not? Why would they not mellow down?
What would they expect him to do? It is far gone. It is far too late. It's not Nnamdi Kanu's war anymore. It is Nigerian people's war. Can't you see it? The NSAS report just made that clear. It's not about the Southeast anymore. It's the Nigerian youth. It's the Nigerian citizen. It's Nigerian people that are suffering. It's not only in the Southeast that people are being gunned down. People are dying left, right, and center. Nobody knows. Nobody's investigating. Nobody cares. People are being... You know how they buried some of the NSAS massacre victims?
They threw some of them in the lagoon. They incinerated some of them.
Yes, that's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm telling you. Did you see the riot that took place after the NSAS when the youth went into the Oba of Lagos home? That was not Nnamdi Kanu. That was Nigerians' anger.
Yeah, but was Nnamdi Kanu not inciting that space? Was it not one of the incitements to NSAS?
Was Nnamdi Kanu the one that started the NSAS?
Yes, it was. Nnamdi Kanu hold on. Nnamdi Kanu and Yele Sowore essentially started NSAS.
Who told you that?
Because they opened up that space of not even peaceful disobedience, because their disobedience, they opened that space of aggressive disobedience against the state. So this sensitized the youth to open their minds to that space. So Nnamdi Kanu and Sowore are responsible for NSAS.
No. If you mention Sowore as part of the people who, yes, but Nnamdi Kanu only came in. No. I'll tell you something. You are wrong.
For years, hold on. They are. For years and years, Nnamdi Kanu has been agitating for young people, because he speaks essentially to a young audience, to weigh against the state forcefully. For years and years, he has been saying that. Sowore has for years and years been calling for a revolution. So they sensitized that mind space to that possibility, and they put themselves on the line as an example of that possibility. So you only needed something to trigger then what they already sensitized. So Nnamdi Kanu and Sowore, they are NSAS, both of them.
You see, sometimes language, the language you use in describing people goes a long way in either helping or hurting them. You see, right now, what you're just saying, you're just using language to hurt people who have legitimate rights. The lives of Nnamdi Kanu,
incorrect. Is it incorrect?
They have legitimate right to complain, just like you and I complain every day. What they do in public, you and I do every day in our daily lives. Now, the NSAS came all of a sudden. All of us observed it. After a while, Nnamdi Kanu, who was regular on his radio channel, was encouraging them. After the NSAS started, we all observed it.
No, it was trooping people out. He was trooping people out. It was saying, go now and join them. It was trooping people out.
That was after the NSAS started. That's what I'm saying. It's not the one who organized the NSAS. The NSAS happened.
Come on.
No, the NSAS happened.
You are too intelligent not to know what I'm saying.
But you know what NSAS means? You know the word SARS.
No, forget NSAS. That's just an acronym. NSAS was not about police brutality. It was just the state of the nation and how people are having to live. So it wasn't about SARS.
No, don't get it wrong. There was a particular video that really spiked it up. The video of this SARS policeman picking people from a hotel, dragging them out, and one of them just shot somebody. Boom! We saw it. And the next day, before you knew, the next day, people were on the streets. and it was NSAS. And then before you knew it, because when the police accosted them, they said they're not leaving the street. In fact, they gave their 5 demands. Before you knew it, everybody started saying, no, we don't just want 5 demands. We want this government to totally renew its mandate and tell us, in fact, change the constitution.
So then that tells you that it wasn't really about SARS. It was the
it started as SARS.
It was a state of the nation sort of that we
exactly,
can't live like this, like animals, you know.
Yes, it started as SARS. Then it escalated to other things, which we all accept and we agree that yes, it shouldn't just end with SARS. SARS is not the only problem. If the Nigerian youth, we accepted that if the Nigerian youth could come out like this because of SARS, they should come out like this because of the federal government, because the federal government is a corrupt entity. That is what I'm trying to say here. So I don't think what was the point again? It's not Nnamdi Kanu that brought the Nigerian youth felt the pinch and they came out on their own. In their own little way, they felt maybe we should just, this SARS should not be killing us. And then why are we suffering even in this country where we have oil, we have this, we have that? In short, we don't want this. We want this government to change everything. That is why it started. Before the Nnamdi Kanu started instigating them, in fact, you have the right to do this and of course, the country. Look at where the country is today. You and I know what this country can be if an intelligent, peace-loving person who has the qualities of a good leader handles the hems of affairs. We know where this country can be. Even Europe, not even one country in Europe will smell our back. We know where we can be. Look at what Buhari has turned this country that was suffering. Before now, the country was suffering massive corruption. But look at what we have now, corruption and terrorism. It is man-made. These things that we are facing today it didn't just germinate. It's fake. It's man-made. It was created.
Exilo, can I ask you a question, please? One minute, please. Have we ever had any good presidents in that country since we come to the Fourth Republic?
Yeah, well, let me say
from Obasanjo to Goodluck Jonathan, all of them.
You heard what I just said?
Fools.
No. You heard what I just said? Did you? Yeah. You are just trying to apologize. There's no need to be an apologist for this government. That's the wrongest thing to do. I just said we have been suffering corruption from the First Republic. This one is corruption and terrorism. We have been suffering massive looting of our resources. But this one is looting of our resources and taking of our lives. We are ending the chapter. That's the end of it. That's the last chapter. If anybody tries to kill you, you have the right to kill the person. You understand? So this is the worst chapter. We accept they are corrupt, but for you to now come for my life, everybody is killing everybody in that country. The police is killing people summarily. The military is killing people summarily. The Navy is killing people with area bombardment. They are even killing each other. They are killing those who are trying to kill the terrorists. And people are dying every day.
What is the way forward? What is the way forward?
Yeah.
Let's just
don't ask him that, or you are going to open the space now.
Yeah.
Okay, go.
And all of a sudden, I should now say the way forward. All of a sudden, bro, if you cannot see the problem in this country,
holy, it's another savior.
If you cannot see the problem, what's your name, Mr. Is it Mr. Thomas?
Thomas.
If you have not accepted that there's a problem, how can you understand the solution? If I table solutions to you now, you will tell me, okay, yeah, it's true, or you cannot understand the solution.
We know the problem.
You know the problem. Now you should know this. You should know the solutions. Then you don't need to ask me. Then.
So what is the solution?
It's Biafra.
No, you know.
It's told you already. It's Biafra.
Don't you know the problems?
Yeah.
I thought you know the problem.
Nigeria will not give you Biafra. Do you know that?
My brother, please. Don't be. You are an apologist, and I don't like to argue with apologists. You understand? You apologize. You apologize.
You have to be mindful. Exilo has just watched Holocaust movie, so it's
Exilo. Nigeria will not give you Nigeria will not give you Biafra. So what is the?
This is this.
There's
You know what you
another
just
option.
said. What you just said now is what the APC and the Buhari government machinery normally do, and I don't like to argue with them. You know, how can you just all of a sudden just tell me that I want Biafra? Where in this? That's what you put to me. You just dressed me up in a Biafran cloak. I never said. I just spoke that Nigeria could be the best country in the world if we have the right leadership. And all of a sudden, you just told me I'm a Biafra. I'm Mr. Biafra. There's something you must understand.
I don't say you are Mr. Biafra.
No, that's what you're putting on me now. You told me that Biafra is what I want. That's what you said. Where in this narrative have I mentioned that I want Biafra? All I said is that.
But I thought Biafra was a religion. Is it no longer a religion?
No,
that's what.
No, please. One man.
I'm only joking.
Well, I understand, but you know, I'm always objective when it comes to issues like this not because I have an Igbo inclination, but because I must be fair to the Igbos. This government has been, you know, marginalizing the Igbos. I must be fair to them. And if you have been marginalized in any entity, you will want to pull out. That is just the situation. That's where we leave it. But to tell me that because of my narrative, I want Biafra, I already said that I'm an Igbo man who went to invest in Oyo State. Does that make me Nigerian enough? I have been to Sokoto. I have my friends in Sokoto, in Kaduna, in Zamfara. I'm willing to invest there. Is that not Nigerian enough? What is then Nigerian to you? So for you to tell me I want Biafra, is like shutting me out.
Do you not want Biafra?
No, you see, that's the question that you guys pose just to try to get answers that suit your own narratives. I will tell you this.
Okay, I want to do a republic led by Rialafin. I want it.
Let me tell you what I want. Let me tell you what I want. What I want is a Nigeria of equity, where every person is Nigerian and nobody is Hausa or Igbo or Yoruba, where it is a crime to tell somebody to go back to your state, where it is a crime to tell somebody to ask somebody your state of origin. That is what I want. But then, anybody who clamors that he wants Biafra has the total right. Anybody that clamors that he wants Odua has his total right. It should be respected. And if tomorrow the people who want Odua are more than the people who don't want it, then Odua becomes a nation. I'm just one person. So I have to be objective. And that is the way we should see things for us to have peace in that country. Because the people who are being killed every day because they are IPOB, they are human lives. And no human life is better than the other. Just like no Nigerian is more Nigerian than another person. In Nigeria today, the Igbo man is more Nigerian than every other person. He comes to Lagos, he builds. He goes to Ogun, he builds. Look at me, I had a farm in Oyo State. He goes to the north, he builds. How many Yorubas are in the east building? How many Northerners are in the east building?
That wasn't an act of... No, hold on. That wasn't an act of altruism. That was a for-profit move. You know,
no!
You did it for the good of the people.
Let me tell you something. Let me explain something to you so you understand how...
You just said now it's the most arable land and you cultivate for profit. So what are you... Look at this.
No. Let me explain. If I explain something to you now, you understand. Before the war, do you know how big the eastern region was? The eastern region was equal or even bigger than the western region. Because then it had all these states that are now crammed, call themselves South-South, right? But still at that point, at that time, you had Igbos dominating in the Hausa land, dominating in Yoruba land. So what is that for profit? They were told by their leader, Nnamdi Azikiwe, they were told by their leader that they are Nigerians. They were told by their leader that they were Nigerians. While Awolowo told his people that, well, Nigeria, I think the word Awolowo uses
and by the way,
Nigeria is a geographical expression.
Yeah, the eastern region is still the same size it always was. The only thing now is that people that were hitherto dominated by a larger ethnicity now have their own identity. So that is it.
Yeah,
The
but
size remains the
yeah, but
same, but the people that were
yeah,
hitherto dominated by the Igbos now have their own identity. Do you object
yeah,
to that?
but you know, if you want to even say which area of the country is richer, you know, you're always going to say the eastern region, because that's where all the oil came from. And this, if you still say that it's an eastern region, then that's where all the oil came from, the oil that built everything in the country. So why are we saying that the Igbos are profit minded when right on their soil they are the
They are
richest
not.
people?
Are you saying they are not?
But how are you describing them as going as fortune hunters when right on their soil they have fortune?
Is that a bad word? That is entrepreneurship. That's
No,
to be
no,
admired,
no,
not to be
no. But they could
disparaged.
easily. But if they were lazy people, they could easily say, "No, we have oil. We are not going anywhere. We want our oil for ourselves." That's what they would have done.
No, there's no oil in Igbo land. It's in the south.
But you just said the eastern region.
Yes.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying.
The eastern region is not Igbo land. The
No, but
entrepreneurs are
the
Igbos. The
eastern region
Bendelites
is.
don't go far from their
Who,
Oba
you are just
Tokoye.
you're mixing it up. Who started the war? Who caused this war? The
Look,
person that killed.
yeah,
No, no, no.
you're
Who
starting to
the
confuse
person?
me now.
No, no, no. I'm not confusing. I'm just trying to make some points. The person who killed Ahmadu Bello is from Delta State. Now, if you say Delta State is not Igbo, then why did the Igbo have to bear the brunt? Yeah, why does the Igbo have? Why did the man is from Anyoma, is from Delta State?
Because anyway, you know the Ojukwu narrative. I don't have to rehash.
You see, I'm just explaining to you that the eastern region is Igbo because it is predominantly Igbo, and just like in the north, you say the Hausa because they're predominantly Hausa. It doesn't mean they don't have the Fulani. I don't know if the Fulani are originally from the north, but they settlers anyways. But you have the Kanuris, the Nupe, and all those ones. But you know, the Habe Hausa is the predominant. That's how it is in the east. So it should not. If you don't divide the north, why will you divide the eastern region then? If you say one north, like they say, then it should be one east. Don't you think so? Because it's predominantly Igbo.
Every region is divided. Do you know how many geopolitical zones there are in the north?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So when we want to say this is the north, we say this is the east. And if you say this is the east, of course, the mass of the east is Igbo. And if they have oil, they have oil. They have oil in Anambra State. In fact, Anambra State has the largest gas reserves in Nigeria. I don't know if you know that.
No, I don't know.
But apart from yes, and I'm not even trying to break down the east into their semi sections now. The east is where the oil is. The east is where the oil is that takes care of Nigeria as a whole.
But it's not in Igbo land, though.
No. All these things you are saying now is just like saying this is not the north. The north is one north, right? Yeah, the east is one east. So what are we saying? And I don't know how you decipher this. That is not in Igbo land. You see, they say
because it sounds as though you are trying to appropriate other ethnicities and subsume them with your size.
No.
Are we back to land grabbing? I thought we'd already done that.
No. You see now. I see. Look at you. Look at you. Just look at what you're saying.
Is that not the language you are?
That's where you bring. That's when you're making me feel like this is about. You're just trying to apologize for the Buhari regime now. Because if you don't, no, but look at it now. You don't know why. You don't know how it sounds when you defend this government. You know you did this when we were discussing the NSAS. And I told you that a lot of people were them. No, you did.
Why are you trying to put this on me? No, I'm not a Buhari apologist.
But you did. You know, after the NSAS report, I said I'm going to come back here. You know, I'm going to come back here because this argument, you have to understand that sometimes when you make this argument, people outside who are watching, they decipher. They can tell when you are trying to apologize for this government. So that's why some people are even saying that
I am now a Buhari admirer. I'm a double agent. Look at that.
And your guy there, Thomas, he just doesn't have the fluidity to put it to me. You know, he's not just very tactical enough to even put it to me. He would have whitewashed all what I'm saying now. But listen. This Buhari government is filled with a lot of Fulani people who can lie. They can lie, but you know, the more they lie, they're only paying to the hands of their eventual Waterloo because they are going to call to book. The East is Igbo because if an area is 75% water, we call it waterland.
With what you just said now, a lot of people will be throwing their coffee mugs at their laptop as you just uttered those words. That the East is Igbo. Because they will
but that is.
I'm sure the Seno is throwing his cup at the screen as we're talking now. And what's that guy that in Sweden? That guy in Sweden. What's his name? The one that is always coming here. They'll be throwing their coffee mugs at their screen, as you said.
But let me tell you something. Just like I told you before, if you say the North is Hausa, the East is Igbo, and the true reason why the Hausas, the North.
Nobody said the North is Hausa. Listen, who said the North is Hausa?
Another apologist is here.
Don't start your Igbo supremacy bullshit.
I will not argue with an apologist. I will not argue with an apologist. I know you.
Don't start your Igbo supremacy bullshit. Listen, Nigeria needs to move forward. Nigeria needs to move forward. These bullshit you guys are playing. You're holding us back. You understand?
You are a paid Buhari.
Forget paid Buhari bullshit. Forget all that bullshit, man. You guys, listen. Let go that bullshit, man. Nobody's dumb anymore. That Ojuku propaganda. Forget it. Dump it. And now the kind of bullshit. Dump it. Let's move forward.
I'm not gonna.
If you want to break away, let's discuss real facts. Don't stop playing this stupid game. Propaganda. Let's brainwash scamming propaganda. Let it go, man. Nigeria needs to move forward. If Igbos want to break away,
I will not come here again.
Let's discuss if you can break away. Stop this. The North is Hausa, the East is Igbo. Stop that. You are wasting our time.
If you have this kind of people here, I will not come here.
They don't come now. Who gives a shit, man?
Mike, the language. Hold on, Exiro, you must be allowed. You must be prepared to have your
but one man, you just
challenge.
You have to keep that guy away from me because I don't
deal. No. Let's talk. Don't say put me away. No. You can't come here and play your game and try to get away. You understand?
You can't be bringing touts.
Don't say don't bring. Every human being, all equal. All human beings, we are
equal. He cannot challenge. He has not made any points. He has not made any points.
No, I'm not going away. Let's make points. Okay, let's start now. Let's make points now. Let's go.
He just came in and I don't know why.
I'll give you the floor. I'll give you the floor. Challenge me. Let's talk.
I'm not going to argue with you.
No argument. Challenge me.
I don't argue with people who don't have points.
It's not argument. Challenge me. Let's go.
There is nothing to challenge. You have no points.
No, you people like you are the one holding Africa back because Africa should be focusing on Pan-Africanism, not tribalism. And Nigeria is the only country that's holding Africa back. And Igbo, you are the only one holding Nigeria back. With this your rubbish, we have to Biafra. I don't mind. Biafra is solid. Let's do it. But this shit is not solid. But you guys are keep holding on to it, and you're holding Nigeria back. Nigeria cannot be great because you guys are dividing Nigeria. You turn South against Yoruba against the North. You are dividing the country. It's either we separate or we stay together. Now, if you have to separate, we have to debate it on facts. Whether we have to separate or not. But you see, your Biafra is just nothing of propaganda and just confusion. You're deceiving Ojukwu deceiving the Igbo generation, which is a product of people like you, Nnamdi Kanu and all that others. Now, Nigeria, we are divided because you Igbos. It's like you Igbos, if you want to get away, let's discuss it. We can let you go. But you're saying Biafra, Sasa is Igbo. And those people in the South are saying they're not Igbos. And the rest of us are like, okay, what's going on here? Nigeria needs to get it together before Africa can get it together. But you guys are the one holding Nigeria back. You're holding Africa back. You are wasting everybody's time. Stop this your propaganda. Don't bring your 419 character into politics of Nigeria ethnicity. We have over 200 tribes. You guys are the only one holding everybody back. Stop it. It provokes me. I'm a Pan-Africanist. I want Africa to become great because I hate I understand the global politics. I'm a historian. I went to school, study history. I understand the way the world is ripping Africa off, and I want Africa to be liberated. And the country that the rest of the continent is waiting on is Nigeria. But you Igbos are fucking Nigeria. Oh, this is your bullshit Biafra.
You understand? So please, if you want Biafra, let's discuss. I don't care if you get Biafra, but the way you're going about it, it's stupid. Well, lies and propaganda, deception, deceiving, it's just annoying, man. People are not stupid anymore. This is not 1960 where 90% of the population is ignorant. This is 2021. A lot of Nigerians are very educated. Even Northerners, they are calling backward. They are educated. So don't this Ojuku's idea where the Ojuku came up with his way of doing things because the Ojuku's generation is different from his generation. Northerners are very educated people today. Yoruba, Westerners are very educated. Some people are very educated. So dump it. Come up with something different. You're holding us back, man. I'm a Pan-Africanist. I want Africa to advance. We can keep this breath bullshit and keep Nigeria divided.
Man, you got to read
Come on.
All right. Okay, Mike. Mike, I think you've made your point. So there you are. There you are. You see, this thing, it engenders a lot of passion. This is the thing, X0. Because
but
sorry, as fervently as you feel it, you can hear the passion in Mike's voice too. So it's
I don't hear any passion. I don't hear any passion.
I heard passion.
I don't hear any passion.
One-way traffic, and it's a complex space. Essentially,
people have to just deal with people have to just deal with their problems. If you don't understand anything, you don't come here and pour your vibes on everybody. No,
all you care about is money. You don't care. You can sell the whole Africa for money. I know you. I don't like money. I want to be rich.
All right. Thank you, Mike.
Fuck the future of Africa. I just want to be rich. I want high money. That's what you want.
Mike, you have to cooperate now. X0 had the floor, so please allow him. So X0, back to you.
Yeah, because I'm not going to argue with a riffraff.
No.
I was saying, don't
come in this crowd. Don't have evidence.
All right. You heard him talking. You heard him calling me bullshit and all those stuff. Now.
No. I've told Mike enough about the language. But
yeah, that's a riffraff.
There's nothing wrong with my language. Don't say that.
That's a riffraff language.
Okay, let's not go down that
road. Don't get into insult. Just debate. Make your point. Don't come and escape.
Sorry. You were being quite eloquent in your assertions, X0. So go back to that space.
And like I was saying,
to us. Yes.
Like I was saying, the reason why the war was imposed on the people of the East, as it were.
No, the Igbos, not the East.
Who's this? This guy? You're just becoming.
Go ahead with your point. Go ahead. Don't go ahead with your point.
My friend, shut up, or I'll leave this.
Continue.
I don't talk to
continue. I will shut up. Continue.
Oh yeah, thank you, Mike. Please don't shut up. Just be quiet. So we don't want to say shut up, but be quiet.
No, if it comes again,
even if you disagree, even if you disagree, let him. You can say things. That's the whole point. But
let him have his floor before he talks.
Yeah. Go on.
Yes.
Guys, please, can we please?
All right, Thomas. Let's hear from X0. X0 to you.
Yeah. So it was Eastern region, and people just misunderstand things like, okay, if you are from within the Eastern region, there is the Ibibios, the Igbos, the Ijos, and all whatnot, the Urobos, the Shekiris, and all of them. But they are seen as Igbos. That's what I'm saying. That's what I've been trying to say. When the North instigated the war, they said, Nyamiri, anybody that's from this side is Igbo. Because that's a general word for the people of the Eastern region.
But that was 1960. We are talking about today, 2021.
Listen to me first. Because of the war and because of oil, they had to start delineating and start carving out the Eastern region into this is South, this is Niger Delta, this is this, just to remove themselves some particular portions where they can now be taking the resources. But a people are a people. The Eastern people are the Eastern people because there are cultural relations that cannot be found between the East and the North. The people of the Eastern region have a particular cultural relationship that you will find in Imo State and you still find in Urobo, and you still find in Ijo, and you still find in Rivers. These are people are defined by their culture, language, traditions, beliefs. You don't just use only language to define a people. If you use only language, you start carving out yourselves as I'm South, I'm Southeast, I'm South, whatever. But if you check out your other cultural practices, you'll find that you are more united than separated. And this is
that's
why
Nigeria now. That's Nigeria.
Listen to me. That is why a person from Delta State will commit something and the whole of the East will face the consequence.
When was that? Give me an example when that happened.
Is from, where is Ifajuna from? The person that led the coup. The person that led the coup that led to the massacres and eventually led to the war is from Delta State.
No, Ifajuna is not from Delta State.
No, Nzogu, I mean.
No, Nzogu didn't lead the coup. It was in Rossi that led the coup.
What are you even saying? Who said Rossi led the coup? The person that killed
Rossi took over the government, so obviously
who killed Ahmadu Bello? Who killed Ahmadu Bello? Who led the
no, if we get to the coup, whoever took over the country, whoever took over the country and refused to prosecute the event of that coup was the reason why they not reacted. You understand?
You are very wrong. No.
Listen. They not reacted because they not reacted because Agui refused to prosecute the coup plotters.
You are getting it wrong. Why was
there were Yorubas among the coup plotters? There was a Yoruba man, just like, listen to me. There was a Yoruba man.
Who Rossi didn't lead the group now? He didn't.
No.
It's Unsogu, Kaduna Unsogu, and Ifeajina. Those are the people that led.
Yes. And Nzogu is from the Delta States.
Okay, let's assume for the sake of this argument, for the sake of
not for the sake. Nzogu led the coup. And Nzogu is from Delta State. Why didn't they go after Nzogu or Delta States? Why didn't they go after Niger Delta or South?
No, let me answer your question. You yourself said it, like they went after everybody, right? In the north, that assumed to be Igbos, right? Now, let me ask you, listen. You asked me a question, let me answer. They didn't go after Nzogu because Ironsi became the head of state. He kept the coup plotters in a safe place in the east, where the northern soldiers couldn't get to them to retaliate. You understand? He frustrated the situation. So if you have to blame the retaliation on anybody, you blame it on the Igbo man, Agui Ironsi. And Agui Ironsi took over the country. That makes it is cool. Because when a coup happened, whoever put the trigger doesn't necessarily be the coup plotter. Whoever took over the country at the end of the coup is a coup plotter. In Liberia, in Liberia, Samedo did not put a trigger, or he took over the country. Today we call it Samedo's coup, right? Even Nigerian's coup, Buhari didn't put a trigger, Babangida didn't put a trigger, even Gowon didn't put a trigger. But today we call it Babangida's coup, Abacha's coup, Gowon's coup. So don't say it's not a Rossi's coup. He took over the country, so that's his coup. You understand?
No.
So,
you're making it look.
Mike. Those ones you mentioned were different. This one, the junior officers carried out the coup, and Agui Rossi only hijacked when he as the most senior officer. So it's totally different thing entirely. The one from
Ola, you are talking to a military man. You are talking to a
leave that thing. My papa
junior officers can never organize.
You'll be talking of military people, and I kept quiet in this day.
Junior officers don't organize coup. A coup has to be organized by junior officers.
Forget about this thing. We have the history there for us to make reference to. So being a military officer.
Okay, for simplicity's sake, let's not say that what you are saying is true. I agree with you guys. Okay, what you are saying is true.
No,
for this sake of argument. No. Let's move forward with the argument. I don't want us to get stuck on this point. Let's move forward. That okay, it was the junior officer organized.
What are you talking about?
No, I just want to agree. I don't want to stuck on this. Who did it? Who didn't do it?
See, don't agree if you do not want to agree if you are this. But this thing remain that Kaduna Unzogu, Ifeajina, those junior officers, they led the coup. the fact that the most senior military officer took over doesn't make Aguiyi-Ironsi. Aguiyi-Ironsi was just a beneficiary of the coup plan by the junior officers. So you are now saying that Ironsi panic. No. If you want to paint any, you want to add any coloration, it's totally different. But don't let us
let me say this last. Let me say this one thing. Let me just say this one thing quick. Okay, let's put it this way. So there was a two coup that happened.
Telling me that you're a military officer. You are not the only first person that has military officer in your lineage.
Okay, let me just say this. Ola, are you done? Can I say one thing?
I'm done.
Okay, if you are done, so let me put it this way. So there was a two coup that happened there. The first coup, just to agree with your point that it was the junior officer that organized the coup. There was two coup that happened. The junior officer organized the coup, they failed. And then Ironsi did another coup, which means when he forced the government to sign over to him, that's a coup. You understand?
He's the most senior officer.
Wait. I'm a very intelligent man. Please don't get there. Let me get it. So the Ironsi forcing the government to sign the state government over to him, that's a coup. So we had two coups in 1966. You understand? So Ironsi's coup was when he forced the government to sign over to him. Because if that first coup was a failed coup, then he could have allowed Azikiwe to continue to be the president of the country. Because Azikiwe was still alive and he was the president. That was his mandate.
All right.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
Okay, go on.
Ironsi took over the country, so that's a coup. So Ironsi took over and then he refused to prosecute those that failed in the first coup. So that's a fact. You understand? So continue, one man. Go ahead.
All right. I was going to say I don't know how we landed up in this Biafra space again. I was only asking about Buhari's. What was the? I'm sure you don't even remember the question. X0, the Northern Coalition going to Abuja to say that to Asoro to say that Nnamdi Kanu must never be released.
I was saying that the Igbo leaders going to Abuja to ask for Nnamdi Kanu to be released, they are just giving Buhari an easy way out, because whether he releases the man or not, the courts has already spelled out that the Fulani herdsmen are terrorists, and that is where the government should be expending its resources. So if the courts have laid that out, that means not just the people now are saying this obvious fact, but the court has now put it to the government, which means that they should automatically start redirecting their forces towards this end. And that automatically means that the likes of Igboho and Nnamdi Kanu are right, that the people should take up arms and fight for their life.
Igboho never said that. I'm sorry. Igboho didn't say people should go and kill all that stuff. So don't put Igboho and Kanu. You are
grossly you are a grossly misled person. I don't know how I don't know how you see. I don't know how you see this.
Go and do your Biafra. Let us do our Urudua. We are different people. We don't do things the same way. Okay, so stop using trying to use the robot station to come get your Biafra. Go and do your Biafra independently. Leave us alone for your Biafra. Okay.
You are getting paid by the Buhari government. So
no. It doesn't matter what you think.
No, I know that's the
leave us out of your Biafra. When we do our own Urudua, we don't mention. We don't call you to call. We don't say because of Kanu. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Mike. X0, you only came here to claim your.
We're not gonna work. It's
repeat that, Charles. Nobody heard. Repeat that, Charles. Repeat what you just said.
Mike is paid by Buhari.
He's paid.
How much?
I don't.
You are paid. So, no. You are paid Buhari, because if you are not, you should not be talking like that.
X0,
No. It pisses me off when I try to talk. So that people who have discerning mind can rationalize and analyze and make proper judgments. All of a sudden, somebody comes up and brushes everything aside, and what you've been saying since no point was made. Instead,
no. Your target is not a sounding mind. Your target is the weak-minded, the illiterate and the semi-literate. They don't know left from right. You're trying to brainwash them. You're trying to brainwash all those ignorant people so they can follow your holy, Nnamdi Kanu, all that bullshit. Listen, intelligent people don't fall for that shit. Okay?
All right, thank you. X0, you only came here to claim victory for your NSAS, and now Mike is giving you a headache.
You have to. But you have to leash your dog, man.
No,
What man? You have to leash your dog.
no,
No, you have to
Zero.
you have to leash
let's
your
not
dog.
degenerate. Let's not degenerate.
No, no,
I mean,
you see
look
his
at
words.
the elegant language you have been using since you came in. So
But you
don't.
see his language. You see his
What did
language. You asked me just now. Don't forget.
Michelle Obama?
Don't
Do you
forget.
remember what Michelle Obama said? She said, "When they go low, we go high." So follow that. When they go
No, but
low,
I'm
you
not
go
going
high.
low. I just told you. I
So
told
you
you.
go high.
You have to put him on the leash because
No.
you have to. If I'm talking, you have to keep him silent. So if he talks, I don't have to interrupt you. But when I'm talking and then somebody, I see his mic is still on. He's not going to let me finish. That's
No.
the
It's
thing.
fine.
It doesn't make for a good discussion. It makes
Zero. Can I
let me say
interject?
Yeah, you can interject.
Can
Go
I
ahead.
interject? Yes,
Yeah,
please.
go ahead.
Why are you comparing Igboho and Nnamdi Kanu together? They are not on the same page.
He wasn't. Hold on. He wasn't comparing. He was just speaking to the similarity of their space. I think Exiro
They are
fully
not similar.
understands.
They are not similar in anything.
Hold on. No. It's not similarity of their person, but of their space. Do you understand? Igboho agitating for Yoruba nation. Nnamdi Kanu agitating for Biafra nation. So there's a natural similarity in those two ones.
Roma, you know the category. Come on, I know that.
And then listen. It's not even just that. It is everyone's right to agitate for whatever they want. But then, when Igboho went with the youths to the forest to dislodge those who are alleged to have been killing people, it's just the same way Nnamdi Kanu encouraged the people of the East to chase out those who are killing their people. You understand? So if the court now says these people are terrorists, then that means that the likes of Igboho and Nnamdi Kanu, who encourage their people to take up arms or to chase these people out of their land, they are innocent. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying here.
So by extension, then that categorization of the bandits of the Fulani Herdsmen as now a terrorist organization. And I'm not quite sure why Meite Allah was not part of the list that was read out by that justice.
No, but because
that's the arrowhead.
Yeah, because it's going to be with time, because we're just, this is just the first pronouncement. With time, they now start to reel out all those who are in this, this Kahoot. You now see the names of Meite Allah.
If they are going to make the designation, then Meite Allah surely should be the first name.
Of course.
Meite Allah came out. Always championed that space. They've always been the backers of this Fulani Herdsmen, now designated Fulani terrorists.
Of course. They came out to say that they laid claim to one of the killings.
Yes.
So it's not
a revenge killing.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have right to kill people. You don't. For them to come out like that means they've already indicted themselves. So Meite Allah is going in for it, and the leader of the Akban, what's his name, is going in for it.
Can I interject 1 minute? The Meite Allah space is very complicated. I think they have factions. So they have factions in them. They have kind of faction that is supporting the terrorists and making those inflammatory statements. But there's the Meite Allah that the governor in each state negotiate with on the issue of herdsmen and all the rest. So that Meite Allah space is very, very complicated, except the state have to, identify which one is the criminal-minded one or criminal-oriented one.
Nnamdi can't even support me now. Wow.
So
it's
I just want to keep that point.
All right,
No,
thank you,
Yeah, it's
Angelico.
true.
The lie must lie about the NCS protest. The all three are lying bastards. They're liars. The program.
Steady down,
They didn't like
Charles.
about NCS. They're liars.
Just to be mindful of the language,
They're
that's
all
all I
liars.
ask.
I'll go to jail. I don't care.
All right, thank you, Charles. So,
Yeah.
as I said,
One
you were only coming in to claim your victory for the NSAS
One,
space, but now
one
Mike
man.
has given
One
you
man.
a good
What?
kick in.
No. It's not a kicking. It's just rabble rousing because
I know.
I don't argue with people who are paid apologists.
No,
He's not going to get one point out. You know, you saw I just kept quiet. I wasn't talking to him.
Why don't you want to argue people that are paid,
There's
man?
no
What does
way.
being
There's
paid have to
no.
do with arguments?
Yes,
If your
it's
argument is
paid. You're
superior,
paid.
you present it.
Let me tell
Don't
you.
worry
Let
about
me
the
tell you
money
what.
they pay
Let me
somebody.
tell you.
Even if they pay me, just present. If your argument is
tell you.
superior, present it.
You see,
Don't run away.
Let me tell you, it's because of people like you that Nigerians, a lot of people are dying.
Just
Because
present your argument. Let's
instead of
debate.
facing the facts, you keep rabble rousing why young youths are dying every day, and you be
Forget
talking in
the
favor of the
they run.
government
You're
that they
running.
be
You're
killing them.
running.
They be
No.
killing.
Stick to the
I'm
point
telling
you
you the
came here
truth.
to present.
I hope
Soon as I come here to
I
debunk it, you are running.
hope
You are running.
I
You are
hope
running
you
like one
face.
dog with his tail behind his leg. Come
Oh
on
God.
now.
You see,
All right.
see,
Okay.
see,
Thank you,
you
gentlemen.
You're holding Africa
Use
back. That's
I
my
use
point
that
too.
term.
That's my frustration with you
I
guys.
use that term only out of the generosity of my heart when I call you both gentlemen. So I'm calling you gentlemen. So please now live up to that word. So thank
but it's
you,
not an argument.
gentlemen.
It's not an argument. He's not arguing. He's just rabble rousing, like I said,
No,
because he's not
it's
made any point. Now you asked me if I want Biafra. I told you. You remember what I answered? And all of a sudden, this man comes in from anywhere and says that I should stop my Biafra bullshit. Where in this conversation did I start? You yourself asked me
yes.
what I'm looking for is Biafra, and I told you I wanted Nigeria that is strong and that is of equity and just and fair. All of a sudden, this man came out from the bush and
But
started to attack my.
that's Mike though. He comes in.
So I
Mike
don't
is an
know.
American, no, it's not from the
That's
bush.
I'm a
Mike.
From the
Pan-Africanist.
bush. He's
That's
You
from the
Mike.
understand?
bush, you know.
He comes in kung fu fighting. I've never
He's
known
a
Mike to come into this platform quietly.
like a
Ever.
like a
He
wild
doesn't come
dog, you
in
know.
here quietly. He will just come in guru guru bara bara.
I
Just
don't know, you know.
No, let's just take Mike as his
Yes.
take him.
No, but
Africa needs to move on.
Eh?
One man, you see
it's
what's
people
happening in
like
Ethiopia right now, right? Ethiopia. See, let me tell you what's going on. Africa is about to take off. Africa is about to be the continent to be the next superpower. You understand? And some forces don't want that to happen. So they go into Ethiopia right now, and they begin to use those minority people to destroy the whole country because they realize that Ethiopia is the capital of Africa.
Is that what
But
you're
that's where
saying?
the UN headquarters is. You understand now? So they have to start with Ethiopia now to collapse our effort.
Not the UN, the AU.
The already sorry, the AU headquarters. That's where the AU headquarters is. Sorry, I'm sorry about that. I always mistake AU and UN. So they have to start with Ethiopia to collapse the continent in a way. So, and the problem in Africa is our internal problems. And our internal problems with a couple of tribes, just few of them. They just have this selfish, tribalistic, it's all about my tribe. The continent can die. As long as my tribe can control something, can rule, can dominate. That mentality, we can't stand against the might of the Europe and Asia. You understand? We can't do that. And in the context of Nigeria, we are the country that I'm not saying necessarily we have to be one. If we have to separate, let's do peaceful. Let's do it. Let's talk about it in an honest way. But in the context of Nigeria, where we are a country where most of the country are looking up to, at least if not the rest of the country, the whole West Africa look up to Nigeria. We have this dysfunctional bullshit that's going on. And the fundamental of it is this stupid Biafra rubbish. And some of these rubbish Igbo guys always come about. I'm not saying all Igbos are about it.
To tell you about the language. You can't.
You see, they did
I'm not
just
saying
use
all Igbos.
speak the
No.
language.
I'm not saying all Igbos. I'm just saying
now.
some of them, some groups
I
like
don't know
those
why you.
Reading the comment
Kanu
section,
and these
everybody
hip-hop
is.
idiots.
Hold on, Mike. Are you
One
reading the
man,
comment
one
section?
man. Can you tell
Hold
Mike
on,
to
Thomas.
stop this
Yes.
word?
This is what I'm saying
Please.
to him. Everybody, even Thomas, Ajanle Koko, everybody said in the comment section is so that why am I allowing you to use these aggressive wordings? No, you can be passionate without those words, but let's hear from our people's voice who wants to contribute. People's voice. you wanted to say?
Yeah, you were saying something. I was saying that this guy
No,
was
I think somebody wanted
somebody
to.
No,
was
it was
okay.
me.
It was
Okay.
people's voice. I think I heard a new voice. Was that you, people's voice?
Thank you very much, one man.
Yeah,
That was me. Thank
yeah,
you very
good.
much. I want to thank everybody on this platform. I'm an avid listener. I respect everybody on here. Mr. Ajali Coco, thumbs up to you. Well, I was listening. I've always listened to Mike. Mike has always been very disrespectful to a particular tribe in Nigeria. Tribalism.
IPOB member. I know.
I'm not an IPOB member, my brother. Please, just let me speak. I beg you. This is my first time here. I'm not here to disrespect you. I'm just here to let you know that everybody deserves respect. Even the IPOB members deserve respect. That's all I wanted to say to Mike, and I want to thank everybody for your opinions. You guys are doing a great work. Thank you, one man, for this platform. So that was all.
All right, thank you,
You know what's
people's
so
voice.
funny?
So that's the thing, Mike. You know, the passion, yes, keep that, but the language,
But the what's
just
funny?
help me out with the language. That's all I ask. Just help
You
me
don't
out.
ask the IPOB people to help you out with the language when they come
I'm
here and
asking,
start
every,
saying
but they don't.
Fulani bastard, Yoruba this, Yoruba that, other. I've seen
Mm,
IPOB member come here to insult you, one man. You don't tell them what's your language.
I ask
You don't.
everybody.
But as soon as a
Ajale
Yoruba man
Coco,
come
do
here
I
and say
not
what's your
insist
language,
on language?
you know,
Do I not
so
insist on
I
language?
sat here
I
and
do
watch
insist
Morris
on
insult
language.
you. Even apologize, even shook his
And
hand.
I removed him, did I not?
No. I saw one Morris insult you, and you allowed him to finish insulting you. And after that, you tell him, "Okay, Morris, are you cool now?"
Mike,
I'm like, this guy just
No, I
insulted you.
removed
I
him.
had
I
to come
removed
in.
him.
In fact, one man, at least the first time I came on your show, I
Mm.
didn't see you for like a while before I came in. And the reason why I came in was to stop some people insulting you, some Igbo IPOP, because they come in to insult you because they don't want you to talk about them. And they no Yoruba person come on a IPOB platform to tell them to talk.
So you are now my
No. I never
bodyguard.
see one my way. Let me say this. I've seen Nnamdi Kanu call Yorubas all the names in the book that I can't even mention here. And I never see one Igbo man call Nnamdi Kanu say, "Hey, stop insulting Yorubas" or something like that. You never insulted Igbos. All you do was just present news because they don't like you talking about them. They come in and insult you, and I respect your Omoluabi, which I love.
listen,
I'm
I
a
have to say
Yoruba man,
something because
and
I'm a
it's our
dude.
culture, and I respect you. I love you for that, for being Omoluabi. You understand?
Woman, what's
And
funny?
you play Omoluabi, and I respect that. But the fact that I come on your show is because I got frustrated with that shit when they come in to insult you because you are presenting news.
Look at that.
Me as a Yoruba
Mike is now my
gangster, you understand? I had
bodyguard.
to come in. I had to come in to defend you. You understand? Like, who's this Igbo idiot coming here to insult my brother?
Woman, the what's
You
funny?
All right, Mike.
Sure,
If you really wanted to help me out, then just tone down. So
Jebule.
not just Mike now, everybody tone down the language. Well, hold on to the passion because that is what we are known for.
Yeah.
You know, we disagree sharply on this platform. Sharply. You know, I disagree sharply with people as well. But really, I think we're grown up enough. And I pride this space as an enlightened space. Just the broad person that comes here is educated, and this is a high functioning platform. This you get all the. If you hear the quality of people that come here, you will see that I'm not gainsaying to say it's a high functioning platform. So the language has to be high, but then the passion kept. That's what I ask. Keep the passion, but mind the language.
You see, woman, you didn't understand. You see, Mike is the reason why. Mike is the reason why the East.
So you didn't hear everything I said. Go on. Oh yeah.
No, Mike is the reason why Mike is the reason why Nigeria is a failed state. Mike is the reason. Because Africa to act. African mentality. They don't think.
They don't think. Thank you.
The world is laughing at us.
All right. No, thank you. I'm trying to douse down the tension. You are trying to spike it up.
No, but you know, let him speak his mind. One man, let him speak his mind because you know it's annoying in this time of irrational behavior of our government. People like this still talk. Even upon the number of people who have died in this country, people still talk like this.
Don't move the goalpost, man. Come on.
You know
Don't move the
something
goalpost.
funny. Let me tell you, because a lot of people query why a lot of people feel that you hear it in the comment section, and even you hear it in some of the voices on the screen as well, that I give Mike a lot of leeway I don't actually give Mike leeway. I actually caution him all the time about the language. But the one thing that I see from Mike is that he tries to speak to the facts as he knows them, because he will quote you and then ask you to counter that quotation. So that is what he does, But just
But
the
what is
language is the thing.
where
Yeah.
was it quoting me by saying that I want Biafra, I want this? When you know what I just said about Biafra, you asked me
Yes.
before he
Well.
came in. You asked me my take, and I told you, said I want one Nigeria that works, but I won't stop the Odua person from chasing his Odua, or the person who wants Biafra from chasing his Biafra. You asked me that. All of a sudden he came in and says, "You Biafrans, bullshit Igbos." I mean, what is your grouse with an Igbo
Now
man?
that's Mike, though. He comes in punching,
Yeah, but
this is it.
but the fact
It
is that
comes
you're
in,
condoning. Well, you can't condone. You can't condone such a
Come on,
lousy
stop
behavior.
lying now. Stop lying.
No.
You can't
Yeah,
condone it. You can't condone such.
everybody has their own space now. We can't all
Yeah,
be
but
of the same
you should
voice. So
stop.
he
But you should
brings
stop him because he was lying.
yeah, he
Like
brings a
watching
certain
it,
free
I
song
watching
to
a bit of
the,
a
yeah.
breakdown
No,
was funny.
but misquoting people and pulling people
Maestro,
out of context is not
Maestro,
right.
Maestro, Ezra Maestro. So are you saying you don't believe in Biafra?
No. Look at the question. Look at
Announce
it's too
your
late for
fans.
that. You
Announce
just
your
put the
fans.
you
Do you
you
denounce
have put
Biafra?
the cat.
Say it. Say it
You
today. Say
have
it right
put
now.
the cat. You have
Say
put
it
the
right
cat
now.
before the
Don't beat
horse.
around the bush. Do
Look
you
at it.
want Biafra
Look
or
at
not?
it. And that's what that's why I said that one man is condoning.
It's a simple
You just
question. Yes
came in,
or
you
no?
brushed past everything. You can't just if you
Nah.
don't this show.
Mr. Mike,
The owner of this show has already
you're
asked me,
just
and I've
being
already
a
responded.
troll, Mr. Mike.
You didn't respond.
Mr. Mike, you're just
So
being
you
a
can't start
troll.
asking me
This
that.
place should be a very respectful place.
The
We
owner of the
can't really
show
do
has asked. The owner of the show has asked me, and I have responded already to him before you came in. So you go
Then
ask
respond
one
to me.
man what I
Respond to
said.
me.
All right. And I was
You're
enjoying my
nobody to
conversation
ask me
with
that.
X0 Mike before you came in, and then you turned it into Ija Niti Ibadan. I'm the
I don't
Oyo man,
understand.
and you're the one acting Ija Niti Ibadan. You are not even from
Ijagboro.
Oyo,
I mean,
and you are turning it into Ija
That is
you should
where
expect.
Thomas comes from now. Thomas should
Yes.
be fighting like this. But
Ija
If you
Niti Ibadan.
if you if you live in America and you're not so intelligent. I mean, you're just messing up the black race, man.
All right.
You don't have anything. You don't have anything. You don't have anything to fight the struggle.
All right. Thank you, X0.
One man.
But
One
you see,
man.
we have two. Let me just say this: we have two options, because I like big personalities, because it is big personalities that are that add color to the space. I think we all know that big personalities add color. Ajane Koko, a big personality, he will add color, but his own peculiar color. Somebody like Baba Kure, Ola, all the rational mind. These are big beer. These are big personalities. They come with their own color. So Mike, a big personality, he comes with his own peculiarity too. So it's either we stop having the uh, um, big personalities and we become somewhere like a benign, so like a arsenic sort of space, or we have these big personalities and we just try and contend with it. So that's just Mike. I've tried to tone him down, but Mike is not for toning down. You ask me, you hear me caution him all the time, but he will never listen to me. So we just have to, manage as best we can. But thank you, X0. Let me take you hopefully to a saner space, X0. This guy now
Yeah.
wanting to rent planes to run an airline, this GBT full another, I think what these people will be hearing more and more ludicrous government policies in the build up to 2023, because what these people are doing essentially is they're going for one last manic scramble for looting. So this one that told us he was going to be building aircraft in Nigeria just 6 months ago, he's now going to be borrowing planes to run airline. Hida Sirika, they call him. What would you call him, X0?
I think it's either of two things here. I think it's either they're still enjoying their looting spree, or he's trying to put some material on ground to justify for the initial, I think, 50 billion, or how much did they spend in that paper project? They have to have a way of explaining it. This is what we did with this. This is what we did with this. So they have to put some things going. Maybe they start off a project and then finish it, and they say, "Oh, this is where the 10 billion went." So they're looking for how many hectares of land? I think it's 200 hectares or something, to start a project that's not going to be finished. And then they're going to explain that to the next administration.
How do you start a project that big in the twilight? Or you are 6-7 years into it?
Yes, of course.
So why would you start? It's just looting, isn't it? He's just telling us,
No, I think he's desperate to start the project and not finish it, because he has to explain where the 10 billion went. The 10 billion, the initial billions they took when they just advertised a logo. So they have to explain where it went. So that's where they have to cut the grass and act like they're building a city, and then explain it away to the next administration, because this government is now G3. Buhari himself will not defend everybody. He's a thief, but he's not going to defend everybody. And when you come for him,
once he goes back to his house in Daura, he will lock the door and say, "Okay, it's up to you. Don't come near my house, or I will shoot you if you come near me. Whether you're Malami or whatever. If you come near, did you steal the money? Then go and next. If you didn't steal the money, go and tell them.
Yeah, exactly. He's not going to defend everybody. So everybody is now trying to, in the twilight of this administration, they're trying to do something. They are going to explain how they spent the money, and this is what they did, and this inflation of prices and everything is going to just be the order of the day, so that the next administration doesn't come for them with it. They don't know what the next administration is going to look like. Buhari himself cannot foist a new administration upon Nigeria. In fact, you saw what happened in Anambra State. A new government is going to come up, and they don't trust that the government is going to keep things status quo the way they want it. So they're trying to keep themselves safe. So I see these people like him. I see them fleeing to Saudi Arabia, or maybe the likes of
they can't run to Europe, because that's essentially running to prison. But they will run to the Middle East, as you said, because of course those are their daddies, those are their masters.
Those are where they are going to spend their money, but the likes of the ones in the south, I don't know where they're going to run to. The likes of Amechi and Co.
And Adesina, he doesn't know anything yet.
They don't know nothing yet. They don't know nothing yet. They're gonna be caught, and they're gonna face trial for all their crimes. So that's what I think. But anyways, they cannot succeed in bamboozling us with this.
All right. Thank you, Xero. You thought you came in for a quiet conversation, but you sparked up the place a bit. So, but thank you. Stay with us just for as long as you can, Xero, as I go on to Thomas. But before I go on to Thomas, let me acknowledge Chris's super chat. And he super chats to say this. He says, one man, Mike, had just indicted you by saying he comes here to defend you. Can we know what he's defending you from? So thank you for the super chat, but I'm not quite sure Mike said that. He said he came on for the first time because he was irritated by some of the languages that he was hearing, and he would not put up with that. So I think that was what Mike said, but thank you for the super chat, Chris. So to you now, Thomas, this now designation of a terrorist organization, the Fulani Herdsmen, but then of course, Sheikh Gumi quickly responds, their spokesperson telling us it's a nonsense, that it changes nothing, and in fact, it would escalate the violence. So what are you making of that space, Thomas?
Yes. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Ajali Koko, Xero, Hola, Charles, and Mike, and our viewers and listeners. It doesn't change anything.
I think Xero has gone off to take paracetamol. Look, they are making people take medication on this space, Mike. You have to calm down. The guy has gone off to take paracetamol, but carry on, Thomas.
We everybody here knows that those people, they are terrorists. even before proscribing them as a terrorist or going to court. We know their modus operandi. We know how they kill. We can't call them any other name than terrorists. They are terrorists. Bandits are terrorists. Bandits is just they are just trying to to frame the name, not to be called terrorist. Anybody that kills is a terrorist. Anybody that does something that is not for humanity, they are all terrorists. For going to the courts to proscribe them as a terrorist, fine, we could say is a good move. Is a good move, but I think it won't stop the carnage that those guys are bringing to Nigerians. Did you guys see two videos that are surfaced in the internet about how they waylay people, Kaduna and Abuja Expressway? They kill people, abduct people, cause accidents in the major road. So these people will not stop, even proscribing them as a terrorist. It doesn't stop their crime. Since they proscribed Boko Haram as a terrorist, did Boko Haram stop? No, it won't stop. There are some states, there are some local governments in the northeast that Boko Haram has flag, they have their flag. They are the one in that territory. Nobody is taking it from them. So proscribing people as terrorists, doing this, it doesn't make any sense to me. The best thing is to take a drastic action against these people. On the private session, I shared a video of a link of a Commodore went to a channel news television. It said they are sponsors. He knows them. Buhari knows people that is terrorizing that country. That man said it. But they don't want to name them and shame them. And they know immediately they name them, people will ask for their prosecution. But they don't want to shame them and name them. So that's why people are saying
we've all seen
Buhari,
that video, by the way. Is Commodore is it Olawumi or something like that? Yeah, we all saw
Olawumi,
that.
yes.
Yeah, but carry on.
Olawumi, yes. Everybody saw them. He said it on a national TV. Why can't Buhari counter what this man said? That the man is lying. So Buhari knows the terrorists in that country. He knows the sponsorer. The man even said there are some people in Buhari's cabinet now that are sponsors of these terrorists. So naming people as terrorists, to me, it's nonsense to me. My own is to go after these people, bring them to book. It's not that you, at the end of the day, you will say there are some repentance terrorists. You give them jollof rice, you give them ashwebi, you line them up, you even send some to abroad, to school. Why some people are lavishing in poverty? So naming them to me is nonsense. My own is to go after these people and bring them
So
down.
it doesn't change anything, is essentially what you're saying. Because
Yes,
that
it
is what
doesn't
Gumi
change
is saying
anything.
as well. He said you are already launching the army at them. So what is the designation to serve other than just to escalate? And what he also said that this designation now of the Fulani headsman as a terrorist, is saying this designation could well lead to reprisals from people who will then make that association and under that designation then take the laws into their own hands. So is that an argument that should be considered, Sheikh Gumi's alarm?
Every time I disagree with that man, but what he said, I agree with him a little bit. It doesn't change anything. I just started the example of Boko Haram. Since they named them, Boko Haram is still ravaging, killing. They have their flags. So proscribing them doesn't change anything. They should just go after them. Proscribing them, some will say if they don't proscribe them, how they go after the bandits or how they go after the Boko Haram will be different. When they proscribe them, the army will deal with them ruthlessly. I don't believe that. Anybody that is a criminal, go after them and bring them down. If the government are willing, if they have the willing, and if they don't, they are not even terrorists themselves.
All
One
right.
man, somebody said something here one time. I forgot that person. He said, if bandits, Boko Haram, and Fulani terrorists problem are not solved in Buhari's tenure, it's not going to be solved.
That is
because
true.
Buhari is a northerner. He's a military man. He knows the terrain. He knows everything about these people. If it is not solved, we are deceiving ourselves.
Yes, that, but more to the point, if Buhari doesn't solve the Fulani herdsmen terrorism in Nigeria, then it is something that we would live with in Nigeria until that country either breaks up or something else. Because Buhari is the perfect man to stop it. Buhari is a Fulani man, is a Muslim, is a herder as well, and is the life patron of Meti Allah. So all of those four things makes him the perfect man to put an end to this. Because the narrative that they always go to is, if you had Obasanjo trying to fight them, they will say Obasanjo is a southern Christian fighting northern
and
Muslims.
the tribalistic.
Yes, they will tribalize it. They will tribalize
Yes.
it. If Goodluck Jonathan tried to do it, they will tribalize it. Even if Yar'Adua tried to do it, they will say he's an acolyte of the South. But Buhari is just the perfect man. If Buhari wants to stop that thing and he moves to stop it, they cannot hide behind it. The South is not going to tell him not to do it. And the North,
Yes.
they cannot accuse him of all of the things that they can accuse somebody that is not Buhari of being the reason why he's weighing against them. He's a Fulani man, he's a Northerner, he's a Muslim, he's a farmer, he's everything that these people are. So if he doesn't stop it, they will struggle with that problem for a very long time.
So
But
that
alas,
is just the narrative.
that is his own. That's what brought him into power now.
Can I interject 1 minute?
Come in, Ajale Koko.
Come in, Ajale Koko.
Yeah, that argument is a sentimental argument. Look, if we have a nation where the commander-in-chief of the armed forces is determined to bring peace to his country, because the number one responsibility of every government is to
protect lives and property.
Yes, to protect life and property. So when life and property in your country are under threat, and you cannot, take the political wheel, damning all the nonsense sentiment. If you cannot take the political wheel to, pull the situation under control.
But Ajale Koko, do you not think that was one of the things that held Goodluck Jonathan hostage, tribe and religion?
That
he
is
couldn't
not.
move. You don't think he was held back by tribe and religion?
Jonathan was just a very nonsensical, weak leader. That was the kind of person he was. A nonsensical, weak, and the weak of the weakest leader in the history of that country. You see? You think if we were to be Obasanjo that was in control then, that was the president then, you think he will not go after them? He will. So if a president of a country cannot guarantee security of life and property in his country because of a sentimental argument of some region, then it's not fit to be in that position. It's not fit. People that have been driven out of their spaces, villages, farms, and all the rest, lost all they have worked for all their life. What explanation do you have for them? So this argument that if Buhari cannot solve it, another person cannot solve it, I don't want to buy into that. You are commander-in-chief from armed forces, get your military men together, give them a marching order, give them an assignment. I want to get this job
sadly, we
done.
saw that play out under Goodluck Jonathan. He had all of the powers that Buhari had, but he did not have the ethnicity or the religion that overrides
You don't need religion. You are not governing over religion.
Yeah,
you are not governing over ethnicity.
You know the Nigerian that. What is Nigerian politics other than ethnicity and religion?
That is our narrative.
It is not. It's a useless. Religion. No, when you are hold on, that is the useless narrative that will never let you move forward in that country. What I'm saying, the number one responsibility of the president is to secure security of life and property. If you cannot guarantee that, every other thing will fall apart under your watch. The economy will fall apart, and what else? Everything will fall apart under your watch. Once you can guarantee, you can put security under check, and people can live in a peaceful atmosphere, then any other goal you want to pursue will be achieved. On education, on healthcare, on economy, everything will be. But if you fail on security, there's no peace. You can achieve anything. That is why this government is going to fail. This government cannot achieve anything when we have this insecurity ravaging everywhere in that country. So a president has to be a well-focused person, a detribalized person, and a person that can do the right thing in the interest of everybody. The security of life and property is in the interest of everybody, and not interest of security of Muslim, or interest of Christian, or interest of some idiot. Interest of everybody. Who is not suffering the insecurity now? Is it Christian that are? Is it what? Are the Muslims enjoying themselves in the north now?
No.
Who is enjoying? Who is? Are we in the south? The Igbos that predominantly Christian, are they enjoying themselves? Are they living in peace? Or are we Yoruba, no. My people in Igogo, and are they living in peace?
No.
That is what insecurity will bring for you. So a president that want to look at, if I go and kill this criminal that are northerners, the northerner will feel me as a person pursuing ethnic agenda or ethnic cleansing. That means that person is not fit for that position. Criminality is criminality. Terrorism is terrorism. So if you want to deal with it, you don't have to look at you have to look at the real issue. Criminality, terrorism, deal with it squarely. Religion or ethnicity does not come in that. That's what I want to chip in.
All right, thank you, Ajanle Koko. So, Thomas, round off your thoughts on that space, and then I'll take you to another talking point.
So Ajanle Koko has he said it. What you said is good, but I'm still insisting. Everything in that country, based on where you come from, who is your religion, who is your godfather, which we know is not the right thing. But this is why we find ourselves always, woman, people are dying like chicken. People are dying like chicken. If you go outside today, you don't know, maybe you will go back to your house in the evening. People are dying. If a president cannot secure the life and property of his nation, of his citizen, that president has failed. I will even suggested to Nigeria, we can even invent or bring somebody from outside of Nigeria, even if it is going to work for us. If Nigerians can't govern Nigerians, we can take Americans or Europeans. If they can govern us, they should come back. Because
okay, just to that space, and this I've asked before, but do you think Africans, do you think they have the capacity to govern themselves?
They don't. We don't. We have never. Even when the colonial men are here, Nigeria is not worse like this. I mean, if I wasn't born then, my parents told me some stories. It's not worse like this. Nigeria is better than this, even when the colonials are ruling. But
Do,
we
do, you,
said
do
we
you think the struggle is the way that continent was carved up rather than
I
us
don't
lacking capacity? Do you think it's how
know.
that continent was carved up?
No, one man, no. It's just the problem of leader, problematic leader. That is the problem we have. One man, all the countries that are working, it is the leaders
Do you think the
decide.
Hausa, do you think the Hausas, the Fulanis, the Yorubas, and the Igbos can ever together form a successful country?
No, we are deceiving ourselves. No, it will not happen. It will not happen.
It will
Because
never ever happen.
it will
Never.
never happen. It will never happen. Bia, thank you. Since 1960, this is the same narrative. This is the same 60 years old, one man. If you are
Can
60
I
years
interject?
old,
Yeah.
yes, please.
Yeah, come in.
Yes, I heard the question you asked if Africa will ever have a good leadership. I think from the beginning, Africa is not it's not free. It wasn't designed to work because it was just a European toy for the European businesses. It wasn't designed to work. It was not designed for the purpose
Is
of the
it still
Africans.
is? Is it still is as you described? Is it still is?
Yes, it still is with a lot of other offshoots of criminals and vandals and thieves. So they're just busy looting. All you have is a child's play. They're not democracies. The only place you can find democracy is in Rwanda. The others they're just thieves. So it wasn't designed to work. It's never going to work. First and foremost, the scramble for Africa was just bullshit. You can't put somebody from a different kingdom with another person from another kingdom, like you have the Senegambia, like you have the Nigeria, like you have in other places, and you want them to work. If people are defined by their language, their culture, and their religion, and all those things, but you can't put people with two distinct culture and then you expect them to amalgamate and form a nation. There are no nations in Africa. The Tutsis and the Hutus nearly finished themselves off because of
But
this same issue.
is that not the paragon that you were holding up? The Rwandans, they savaged
Yes,
themselves.
yeah, but at least they're not as multiplicated as Nigeria. Nigeria is 365 ethnic groups. They're just two. I don't know if they're more than five or so. So their case is less and their population is less. So if for Africa to work, they have to go back to the scramble for Africa drawn out in Germany. They have to redesign Africa as ethnic spaces instead of economic spaces, which they will
But
never do.
is there not a quibble there as well? Because you've come in now with an Eastern narrative, and then within that Eastern narrative, a lot of people were already throwing rotten eggs at you in the comment section because I was watching the
No,
comments.
no,
They were
don't make
already
a
throwing
mistake.
tomatoes at you,
No, no,
So,
no, no,
so
don't
yeah.
make a mistake. Don't make a mistake. I only was trying to express a point. I was telling you that from my own perspective, a one Nigeria was better, but is it feasible? No. Am I the one who's asking for separation? No. But if they separate, let it be so. That's what I said. Don't tell me don't put those words on me. I didn't say
One
that.
man,
All right.
can I ask him a question?
Oh man,
What are
where's
these things?
Mike?
What are these things?
Hold on, Ajale Koko. Yes, I knew you were. So
Where's Mike?
let me address you directly. We've already had one troublemaker,
Don't
please.
you dare address
We've
me with
already
disrespect.
had one
Step down
troublemaker.
from your high horse, Mr. One Man, okay? It's because
Look
of
at
you
that.
I'm chewing stick by this time of the night.
Look at that.
Get it?
You say you're a village girl now. Is it not
I'm
Paco?
a
Is it
village
not Paco?
champion. I'm a local champion.
You're a village
Whatever.
girl and you're doing Paco.
Anyhow
So
you want
what
it,
is new?
somersault, I did there. Yeah.
All right now. Put your
I'm
question,
not
please.
push somebody. I'm not
You
push.
see,
I'm a local champion.
you wait for Mike to call to leave, and then you come and you want to be
No, no,
fighting
no.
him. Why
Mike
did you
was
come
here. I came in because
when he
of
was
Mike.
but you came after he left now, so there you
No
are.
way. I came here. He ran away. Where is he? Tell him to come back. He's your bodyguard. He's your bodyguard. Look at
He's not
him.
my
He's hiding his
bodyguard
face.
though.
know.
My chest is
Someone,
bigger
he
than
can't
his
even show
now.
his face when he's talking. Imagine. Mike,
All right.
you're a coward. Come back.
Leave
Come
Mike
and
alone.
insult
Mike.
Igbo. I'm an Igbo person. Come here. Come back.
You know that Michael. No. All right. Thank you.
No,
Yeah.
now it's not good, one man. No, let me tell you one thing. See the way brother Jan Lekoko behave. Look at Ola. Look at the other people in your platform, the way they behave.
But look at you as well. What about you?
No, I'm not. No, it's you that normally wind me up. Sometimes you change my name on the platform. You've never done that to anyone here. You disrespect me. Yes, you do. You bully me. I'm the only female on your platform.
Can anybody
Carrying
bully
the
you?
flag
Yeah,
of the
that's
females,
not possible now.
making your platform sustainable to prove that you can even allow women in your territory. You see, you're replicating Nigeria in this place. That means Nigeria will never have a female president. I'm here speaking, but you don't allow me. You tackle me every time. You try to subdue me. Yeah, you change my name on this platform.
Have you been reading a dictionary? What's all these big words that you have come with today?
I'm an illiterate,
what is going on here?
I'm learning from you, one man. Have you ever changed anybody's name in this platform apart from me? Why me?
When have I ever changed your name? How do I even have the capacity to change your name, Bia? Am I a magician? Am I Professor Bella?
One man, you're highly educated.
You have to stay away from those glasses of wine, you know.
No, one man. Ajale Koko was here and they saw it. I was even pleading with you to put my name back to Proudly, but you changed me to Odua. I don't mind being Odua or even a good side of the Fulani and Hausa and stuff. I love good people with respect, you know. I treat people the way they treat me. You're getting from me back what you give to me, but Mike can't come here to say because people were disrespecting you, he had to come. People have voices. We may disagree, but it doesn't mean that we hate each other. We are not fighting ethnicities here. We are not causing divisions here. We are from Nigeria. After all, we are holding the same green passports. You should not allow such voices that is divisive. That is all I'm saying. He can have his point. He can be angry, throw punches. I'm not trying to control him. No, 1 minute.
Well, you are trying to control him.
Even Ajale Koko has even accused him of having some kind of some ill feelings for some tribes in Nigeria. I don't want to go down that lane. But he cannot condescend. So for how long is he going to hold that grudge? Mike, let go. Every day is a brand new day. Bring peace to this platform. Let's come together as one. Everyone is watching us all over the world. Every day, Igbo. Does it mean I don't have problems with other ethnicities? But I can't judge a whole ethnicity based on certain person's misbehavior. I can't generalize. I have to deal with people one-to-one. I deal with one man one-to-one. I can't say Yorubas have offended me. No, never. But Mike comes here, Igbo this, Igbo that, Nnamdi Kanu. Go and face Nnamdi Kanu if it's your problem. I'm not Nnamdi. You can't, because of the sins of Nnamdi, and come here and be disrespecting the whole of other ethnicities. Come on.
Oh, all right. Thank you, Bia. Always good to see you, Bia. And then, so that's Bia. So you wanted to put a question to X0 Ajanle Koko.
So X0, you said we are better off together. What make you come to that conclusion, or what have you seen in the past, and what have you seen? What do you see coming in the future that make you think, oh, we are better off together? I'm just curious. I want to know.
Okay, is a function of language now. I didn't say we are better off. I said I would have loved, because there are things we could achieve as a big country. You understand? 1 is the market space, 2 is the defense, 3 is we're just going to have a larger chunk when it comes to the global influencing of things globally.
And
that's why the numbers, you know, that's why I said I would prefer. I didn't say we are better off. I said I would prefer. That means if we have good leaders, we can achieve a lot.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yes, we can achieve a lot with the numbers. Yes,
that's
what I just meant. But that aside, everybody has a right to fight for what they believe is their is their utopia. If they want Biafra, so be it. If they want to do it, so be it. Nobody has the right to shoot them down because of their beliefs. And that's where I have a growth, you know. But I would have preferred a bigger country because it gives you a lot of space to succeed. You have a lot of people to sell to, a lot of people to do things with, you know. But if you're small,
Even the
you have
president of France, he spoke to that when he visited Nigeria, Macron. He went to the shrine, Fela Kuti's shrine, and one of those, uh, all these Tenigbetu sort of boys, all these poppy sort of people. So he wanted to do poppy with him. He says he wants to be like some Elon Musk or something. That how can Nigeria have an Elon Musk? And Macron was saying to the chap, the young chap, that look, you don't necessarily need to be looking to that space at the moment. Just the size of your population is a market in itself. So that if Nigeria was right, that population alone, it can self-sustain. Just with the resources and the population, it can self-sustain.
One man, as we rightly said before,
Who is speaking?
with what we have there, Nigeria should be even greater than all the African countries. Greater, even some European countries should be following Nigeria with what we have. There are some countries you can't even plant without putting chemicals. We will plant egusi, plant igu at the back of our house, and it will germinate without chemical, no fertilizer, nothing. We have everything that it takes. It's just the problem African have is the leader and the political will to do some things, and the tribal problem and religion problem. That is where the other countries are working. They don't carry their religion to anything they are doing. They rule as normal people. Continue, one man.
All right. Thank you, Thomas. So very briefly, before I go on to the next question, let me acknowledge the super chats that are coming in. This is Chris Nwago, who wants to trouble make with a super chat. He says, Mike comes here at the invitation of one man. So thank you for the super chat, but factually, that is what they call a factual inexactitude. The factual inexactitude, otherwise known as a lie. So a factual inexactitude, but thank you for the super chat anyway. So from a factual inexactitude to an actual categorical fact, Alexander Gomez, calm down, folks, please. Let's be civil in our discourse. He didn't even mention you, Bia. He's just saying to everybody. So this is to everybody, not to you specifically.
I know he's not targeting me. Of course, I know.
No. So don't feel
civilized. No, I don't have issues with
and I'm not even pointing it at you. I'm saying it to everyone.
One man, I'm not a kid. Come on, stop.
Why did you mention her name?
Because it's the one causing trouble. Because it's the one
causing trouble. I don't mind one man. No, that's how he disrupts me when I come here. I don't know.
It says, calm down, folks. Please, let's be civil in our discourse. We are mature and educated adults, I believe, from the most recognizable African countries. So that is what...
one man, I believe he wasn't talking to me. Obviously, if he was, he would have mentioned here. So I don't say, I'm not a mind reader.
Don't feel it personally, but you are captured.
One man.
So thank you. So very briefly on this, Thomas, to the rent a plane airline that some Fulani guy says he wants to set up in Nigeria. Hida SIRIKA, he calls himself. At the 11th hour, now he's going to do this mammoth project. Is this a pension plan?
One man, if you remember the last time we spoke on this, UK said that you will not be embarrassed or surprised if these people went ahead and rent an aircraft or borrowed an aircraft and just put the name, unveil it, then return the aircraft back to the people. So that is what is happening here. You want to rent an aircraft. Really? If you are not capable to do something, just leave it. Just leave it. As you rightly said, this is 99.9 hour of looting. They will just bring anything that they can cash out from. That is the problem. That is why I said earlier on, that country, the presidency should stop at one term. One term. You are going there.
You
You
know,
are
that
going
was
there to
Goodluck
serve.
Jonathan's idea.
No,
He said
yeah.
he was trying to get an amendment through to have the constitution amended to a 1 year, a 6 year 1 term administration, that any government that comes in should be able in a period of 6 years to do a body of work. So you serve just
Yes.
that 1 term and then you move on.
That is the best. Because you know you are not coming back. It's gonna work. It's gonna work. Because this 8 years,
Thomas, why do you think it's going to work? Why do you think it's going to work?
yes. What I think that why do I think it's gonna work is that if you serve 1 term, it will give you some sense of responsibility that I'm not coming back. Let me do what is needful. It's always in this politician mind. The first 4 year is rubbish. The second 4 year, at the 2 years, it will be rubbish. And
I
the last
disagree.
two,
Can I interject
let me
for a moment? I
finish.
disagree with
Let me
No,
that.
I
finish.
was going to
Let me
Now,
respond to
finish.
him too.
hold on. Let him land the point and then you
Let me
interject.
finish.
Yeah, but land it quickly, Thomas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The second 2 years, they will be trying to clean up their plate to make everything good in the eyes of the citizenry, that we you know what a Yoruba man we said, before you go you have to clean your plate. They will try to clean their plate in that second tenure, 2 years to go. So expect more of this shenanigan from this administration. They will try to.
Thomas, Thomas,
Yes, please.
see,
Yes, please.
when what you don't have, you cannot give, right?
You
Someone
are
that
right.
has no sense of responsibility cannot be expected to be responsible. See, it is an excuse that is because of 2 term. That's why they don't perform. Someone that want to perform will perform in the first term and damn the consequence in the second term, whether they are coming there. Look at what Fashola did in the first time. I'm not saying he's the best governor or he has done the best thing in this thing. When he started burning all those ghettos and started rebuilding all those things, he damned the consequences of what is going to happen, whether he was going there the second time or not. And people, including the redundant middle class that don't normally vote, they came out to vote for Fashola to win the second time. So the thing is this: these politicians, when they are going into that office, or for what purpose? They are going there for different purpose that is totally different from what governance is supposed to mean. You understand? You see a multi-billionaire already want to inherit the whole of Nigeria. That's just the type of mentality they are taking to that office. So if you give them that 6 years, it is enough for them to even look better and don't care, because this is my time and we spend it. You understand? So it is not a matter. You give
Yes.
some people a month, they are going to make some kind of landmark that some people can never record in 10 years. So
You are right.
that idea to me is not the reason these guys are not performing.
All right.
So
all right, thank you, Ola. So add your contribution as well. Bia, and then round off your thoughts on that space, Thomas, and then I'll go on to Ajande Koko. So Bia, to you.
I believe if the presidency or the politicians in the space that Thomas was talking about are properly equipped. It's like you want to be in a position, but you don't merit it. So they do not merit it. They don't have those fundamental skills to perform and execute their duties. So if you don't know, if you don't have those skills, how are you going to be better the second, the third, the fifth, the third time? You're not supposed to be there in the first place because you don't merit it. It's nothing personal. So there is no improvement upon no skills. If you don't have a solid foundation of the skills to play good politics of equality, you know, all from all across the country, there is no sector you can do well in. You're not going to be a good team player with the people that you're working with. After all, it's not only one person that makes the government great. That's my contribution there.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Oh,
you.
all right. So address that and then round off your thoughts on that space, Thomas.
Yes. You guys are right. You guys are right. But I disagree with Ola about second time. People vote for Fashola. People don't vote in Nigeria. Nigeria, we don't have election in Nigeria. We have selection. It's Tinubu that choose everybody that will be a governor in Lagos State. Forget about voting. Nigerians don't vote. Nigerians select their leaders, and some people select leaders. Let those
bros, Fashola was different. I was there at my ward. I even monitor. You know, we monitor the election. We started even taking a picture of what was happening. I'm telling you.
Do you want
even
to
those
tell
people
me
that
they did not read?
middle class, they all came out. They went out to vote. And we took picture and we kept it. We started even posting results even without the official results. So that people didn't vote. See.
Are you confessing to electoral malpractice, Ola? Is that a confession to?
It's not a confession. Is that
electoral malpractice? You were posting results before it was announced. Is that electoral malpractice? Should I arrest you right now? Ajale Koko, can you? Ajale Koko, get the handcuffs. Ajale Koko, get the handcuffs. What are you talking about? You are announcing.
What electoral malpractice did I commit?
You are announcing election. You are announcing results without before it was officially declared.
Did you know what happened in 2011?
I'm only joking.
We are all encouraged that please, for this politician not to read this election, take the photograph of the result from your ward and paste it and populate everywhere. Make life difficult for them to read. And that is exactly what we did in 2011.
Ola, do you want to tell me the election, they don't rig election in Lagos?
Look, that's not even the point where I'm saying.
No, I'm just disagreeing with you.
Sorry, where are we taking this? Because we are going to go around some.
No, he was telling me that Fashola was rigging for the second term. That's what I disagree with. Fashola was not rigging in second term. People came out, including the middle class that are normally that just to be so passive. Everybody went out to vote for Fashola for what he did in his first term. So Fashola got into that position on merit because left to Tinubu alone, Tinubu would have blocked him if he had his chance because of what he did the first time when he was not giving when he probed that guy that did the Alausa secretariat this what do you call it solar this that didn't work. That happened before if Tinubu just say if left to Tinubu alone, Fashola will not win the second time. People went out, they trooped out to vote, and we took picture as they were announcing the result from the world to make sure that this guy, we have no this. So they rig election in Nigeria, but it's not everything they rig. Sometimes people will go, okay, it's like telling me that they rig election for Soludo, for example. How can you call that one rigging? Those people that wanted to rig it, those people that went out, they made sure they frustrated the effort of that rigging. So it's not all elections in Nigeria that were rigged in code. There could be some kind of small malpractices, but when you are talking of majority, let's concentrate on majority. It's not all elections in Nigeria that were grossly rigged. So that's just my point.
All right, thank you. Thomas, I don't want to labor that space too much, so just round off your thoughts on the minister wanting to use airline to loot, and then I'll go on to Ajanle Koko.
Yes, Nigeria here, I know They are there to loot another money. What the man said, they will go again. It's just ridiculous. You want to rent a plane for the project. Why can't you buy your own plane? Buy your own plane if you have the might and you have the will to do this thing. Just do it. If you can't do it, just leave it. As I'm rightly said, they are just trying to bring more projects to try to sell APC to us 2023. And I think Nigeria should think twice who they are going to vote for 2023. No APC, no PDP. Find a third force. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Thomas. So I'll go on next to Ajanle Koko, but before I go on to Ajanle Koko, let me acknowledge the presence of Celibis, who has not joined us for a while. So the rumors of the renditioning of Celibis to prisoner cell block H, DSS, is grossly exaggerated. So all of those rumors that they were renditions to go and join Nnamdi Kanu, so that was fake news, Celibis. Look at that. It looks as though
we miss you. We miss you. When you come back, we miss you.
Good to see you, Sally. So to you, Ajanle Koko, the designation of the Fulani Herdsman as a bandit. So tell us something we don't know is my response to that. But what is yours?
Yeah, that's long overdue. These people should have been designated as terrorists for a long time because their modus operandi is same as that of terrorists. I mean, how do they operate? They go to villages, sack people out of their villages, take people as, kidnap people, rape women, kill people, take over farmland, and they are, forcefully taking taxes from people. These are the activities of these bandits. So how are they different from terrorists? There's no similar. We don't see that different from them. They operate the same way. So people have been calling for it. Even the National Assembly have called for this. But it's best known to the administration why they don't want to designate these people as terrorists. And I know the reason why. We know the reason why they don't want to designate them as terrorists. Because the moment they are designated as terrorists, that will give the military that power. It will give them that responsibility to go after them and wipe them out. But their status as just bandit is it's a status of
yeah, that's a law. Another thing, if they call them bandits, it's a police matter. But if they call them terrorists, it's a military matter.
So calling them bandits is just to give them a leeway to continue their criminal activities. The law will treat them as just ordinary criminal, like armed robbers and other criminals around us in our communities. So that is why they kept them as bandits. And this.
Do you think some of this designation may be a diversionary tactic to move the headlines away from the NSAS panel? Do you think they're trying to move the story on from that space?
I don't think so. I don't know. Who are the people that took this matter to court? The
attribution is actually going to a lawyer from the Ministry of Justice that filed an ex parte motion in front of Justice Taiwo. So essentially, they just gave him something to read out and assert it in law. And they say they are going to move quickly to gazette it as a government position.
I think it's quite commendable if it is the Attorney General or from the Attorney General office that took this matter to court. Is quite commendable. This is what people have been calling for. Even the National Assembly have called for this. But
this is why I'm suggesting that they are looking to move the headline from the
they cannot. I mean, that is not going to be possible. That's not going to achieve. If that is their purpose of doing that this time around, it's not going to achieve any purpose. I mean, it's not going to achieve that their desired purpose, because the end SARS issue is an international issue. It's an issue that the whole world are focusing on, and everybody is monitoring that space. People are waiting for the white paper that the panel inaugurated by the governor of Lagos State set up to come out with a white paper. So people are waiting for that white paper, and that NSAS is an issue. It cannot. There's no distraction. There's nothing that will distract people from following that NSAS. So I don't really believe in that. That is meant for distraction. But we have to commend the Attorney General office. We don't know why he has done it now, but they have done well.
He couldn't have done it without approval from Daddy.
That's fine. Yes. So they have done well to designate these people as terrorists, and let's see what the military are going to do now. In chasing them and eliminating them out of places where they are ravaging now. So
yeah. And Sheikh Gumi's response that it changes nothing, that they are already launching the armies at these people. So what really changes with the designation? So do you accord that any veracity? Sheikh Gumi is the spokesman of the bandit. He responds.
I think Sheikh Gumi is just making fool of himself by making this statement that it's not going to achieve anything. This action by the court will give the military that power to go after those bandits and go after them and eliminate them, taking them out of our space. So if we have a military that are really committed to their professional responsibility and are given with the backing of the president, the seriousness of the president, the determination and the political will of the president, it will go a long way to achieve peace for the country, because the military will go after them, take them out, and peace will return to the northern Nigeria and other part of Nigeria where we have these people carrying out their devilish activities. So Sheikh Gumi is just, I don't know what is wrong with him. I don't know why he's saying he's not going to achieve. He's kind of bullying the state, kind of making a protective statement for those people, making cover for them, telling the nation, don't go after them. If you go after them, there's going to be severe consequences for this. I don't know what Gumi, I don't know where he's getting his his position from. So it doesn't make sense what Gumi is saying. What he's saying, it doesn't make sense to me at all.
All right, thank you. And to the space, the Northerners push. Actually, let me take you to the space. You know that controversy, of course, that led to the banning of Twitter. Many of those misbehaving today are too young to be aware of the destruction and loss of lives that occurred during the Nigerian Civil War. Those of us in the field for 30 months who went through the war will treat them in the language that they understand. So, what is his name? Garba Shehu is now coming out to say that Buhari's controversial tweet on Biafra was not a threat. So they are now trying to explain this away as Twitter continues to be banned now for 175 days. So what are you what are you making rather of this rewriting now of words that we saw for ourselves? So this seems to be what this regime does. They try to rewrite the obvious. What are you making of that?
I want to be clear. What did you say that, what is the position they are coming out with now?
It's saying it is essentially, let me see. It says, let me take it from this, let me take it from this paragraph. The Nigerian government claims that the deletion of the president's tweet factored into their decision, but it was ultimately based on a litany of problems with the social media platform in Nigeria, where misinformation and fake news spread through it have had several real-world consequences. It is an opinion that the president's comment on IPOB, which led to the banning of Twitter in Nigeria, was controversial. For many, it was not. Shehu said on Friday in Katsina. The president has therefore been warning against social media disruptive and divisive influences, and the government's action is not a knee-jerk response to Twitter's preposterous deletion of his tweets, which should have been read in full. The tweet was not a threat, it was a statement of fact. As a terrorist organization, IPOB posed a significant threat to the safety and security of Nigerian citizens. When the president said they will be treated in a language they understand, he merely reiterated their force shall be met with force. It is a basic principle of security services response all over the world. So that is what they are saying. It says, that's essentially what they are saying. That what Buhari was speaking to essentially when he said they'll be treated in the language they understand was that the force that the IPOB was using will be met with equal and greater force. So that essentially is what he is claiming was being said.
Garba Shehu is not what is saying there in defense of the president tweet is not something new. It must sound it might sound different from what they have said in the past, but the position is that the president tweet was not aimed at eliminating or the IPOB or a devilish statement against IPOB. They have been saying this, that they are not wrong, or the president is not wrong by that statement, by his tweet, but the Twitter that took that post down knew that it was against their rules, and that Nigerian president is not the first person that they will have done that to. Even they did it against the president of the United States, President Trump, and President Trump, being a very wise president, did not shut them down because he knew the consequence of it. He knew That is, if he shut Twitter down, it will affect the economic well-being of the people of the United States, and consequently affect the economy of the United States. For all its 4 years, that a lot of things were said against United States, against President Trump, and the Twitter did against President Trump. It did not at one time said, okay, I will take these people down or I will shut them down. He had the power. He had wanted to do it, but he didn't do that because he knew the consequence. He knew that nation is a nation where rule of law prevail. So, but Nigeria, being a country that does not respect rule of law, they took that action against Twitter, which consequently affect the economy of Nigerian nation. A lot of companies, a lot of individuals that run their business via Twitter have been losing money since Twitter was shut down. So we have people in government that are very insensitive to the situation in the country, that are very insensitive to the economic reality in the country, and they are very insensitive to the issue that concern the masses and the people of that country. So look, Nigerians, I'm talking about businesses and private people that have lost billions of naira. In 2 months, when we started this, they lost about 320 billion naira. So if you calculate how much businesses and individuals that uses Twitter to run their businesses,
especially in the young space, a lot of those young people, they have shops, virtual shops. They sell hair, they sell makeup, they sell whatever it is that the young people. So a lot of people they run. People are buying houses, off the back of Twitter in Nigeria now.
So if you want to quantify how much Nigerians has lost and how much the economy have lost, that billions, several billions, it will be going to about trillions of naira now. So this is an administration that doesn't care. All they care about is to brutalize people, is to use force on people, to force their own will on the people of the country, and not to follow the rule of law. So Garibashe saying this is not saying anything different, but rather the nonsense they've been saying since they won, they assume power. They have run this country into debt trap, and to get out of it, only God knows. We cannot get out of this debt trap. When they took over government 6 years ago, the external debt of Nigeria was $8 billion. The external debt of Nigeria was $8 billion. How much is it today? It's almost $40 billion. Look at how much these people, how much debt.
Do you know in next year's budget will be their biggest budget ever, because they will just go, brutal. Next year's budget is a looting budget, and they will try and hide it under the upcoming election. They will loot like there's no tomorrow. In their final budget, though, is going to be, there will be blood on the carpet when that they will tear everything down.
So now it is $40 billion within 6 months from $8 billion. So they have incurred $32 billion during their $1 billion loan in debt.
on the nation within 6 years. The internal debt when they came in was 10 billion. I mean, 10 trillion naira. Now today, it's about 30 trillion naira. So it is debt here and there, both internally and externally, and the external reserve is shrinking. And next year, they want to put, what do you call this? They want to remove oil subsidy. So we are in a nation where you have people in position of power that lack the vision of transforming the country. You have mediocre in
what
position
is
of
even
power.
happening to that Dangote refinery? How long does it take? Is it 15 years now that this guy has been building this thing? How long does it take to build it?
I don't know. I know it's been building. Is it not since 2000?
Did it not start under Obasanjo, or when did it start?
Is it not 2012 or something like that? I think it was doing Jonathan or Yaradua.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was doing Yaradua. Yes, it started making.
Unbelievable.
So we have administration that has run everything down in that country. They run the country into serious debt trap, and to get out of it, only God knows how to do it. And there's no way to do it because Nigeria is not a producing state. We are not producing nothing that will earn us that foreign reserve. I mean, that foreign exchange. So Nigeria is gradually turning to a beggar nation. We are a beggar nation now, begging everywhere for loan, begging at the moment they uses or spend 97% of the revenue to service the debt. How do you think such a nation can survive it when you use almost your revenue just to service, not repayment? It's just to service it. And the more you service this debt, you are not actually paying the principal. The fee that will come of the debt will continue to grow. It's just a way of throwing money into the trash. So this is an administration that does not really have that agenda of solving problem, but agenda of causing more problem on the people of Nigeria, mortgaging the future of the young ones and the people of that country, and destabilize that country. The country is heading towards disaster. That's a fact.
All right. Thank you, Ajanle Koko. Ajanle Koko, let me go on to Ola and sample his opinion on this rather curious move that is being made by the Northern Coalition. So Ola, Nnamdi Kanu, Northern Coalition seeks audience with Buhari. So I'm sure you recall that we had the Southern elders go to Buhari just recently to plead for the unconditional release of Nnamdi Kanu, and one of their leads of that delegation to say that release him to me under my authority and I will try and contain him. So that was the plea that the Easterners made. But the Northerners now still, to that Nnamdi Kanu narrative, they are saying all of the atrocities that were committed against the Northerners, especially in the Southeast, that they want to come and present some victims of those atrocities that were committed off the back of incitements by Kanu, so that Buhari can balance the judgment that he's going to make. So lock him up forever, essentially. What are you making then of this northern move to the Kanu space?
All that politics. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
hear you. Okay, so all our politics. You see, unfortunately for for the politician from the northern region, they have a bad product. The bad product is causing a lot of the endemic in the society, and creating a lot of backwardness and all that. So for people that still believe that power should still remain with them in 2023, so they have to find a way to, it's just like when they were branding Buhari as a Democrat then. Oh, he's a Democrat, that was then. He's now respect rule of law, all those stories. Now, if they want to bring out Kanu, for example, these guys may be thinking, okay, how do we ally? How do we form some kind of a partnership or alliance with the southern region by saying, okay, let me just give one example. Let me pick Congressor from the north, and let me pick Obi or someone from the south, from the southeast, to have the ticket for 2023. Now, the issue of Kanu, we said, okay, they want to divide the region to say, okay, we give you guys, okay, we fought for Kanu release, we've heard you, we are going to do whatever you want, we are going to restructure Nigeria. Just for them, anything they can do to grab power, they will do. All of a sudden, is it now they know? Is it now they know that Kanu is incarcerated or all this? All of a sudden, they realize that, okay, they should just use that Kanu as a leverage to holding on to power. To me, I see that thing as like Greek gift. I don't see sincerity of purpose there. It's just all politics, nothing more than that. That's my opinion of the situation, because there are a lot of things to do. Now, release Kanu, release all these things. You can move further. Not only to release Kanu, let us even listen to what this guy is agitating for, other than release the guy alone. Those are where now this guy, they should be at the forefront fighting for how to devolve power or restructure or to correct the kind of error in this administration. Why can't they say, okay, all these FULANI issues, they are not just that the court is not helping the executive to do what they ought to have done several years ago. Now, for example, why can't those people sit within that decision and solve the problem? Solve the problem that Kanu is fighting for and make Kanu, you understand, redundant. Because if you solve Kanu's problem, then you make him redundant instead of trying to play politics of how to hold on to power. To me, there's no sincerity there. That's the way I see it.
All right, thank you, Ola. So to that space, then, the bandits that you mentioned, so the designation now of the Fulani bandits, now Fulani terrorist, is it too little, too late, or better late than never? So which is it? Is it too little, too late, better late than never, or is it even far-reaching enough, or does it satisfy you, the designation?
Yeah, from the side of the executive, it is even more than too late. But from the judiciary side, I won't say it is too late. I like something to be documented. Whatever they are saying now, whether they use politics to get into the judiciary and bring all this kind of thing, the good thing is there that we've had a judicial precedent now, for example, which is going to be part of our law. Now, whatever happens today, references can still be made to this particular ruling in dealing with this type of situation in the future. For example, as someone taking the matter of Buhari, how he overthrown the legitimate government, democratic government in 1983, as someone taking that guy to court, maybe they declared that what that guy did, the code 1983 code, they declared it as treason and all those things. Perhaps the like of Buhari will have been denied. The access into our presidency today. That is what this type of law, when truly, I'm not too optimistic that the military will now go on the street and start killing. No. I'm not that optimistic. because who is the military? Who is the commander in chief? The same person that is a terrorist apologist, the same criminal that overthrew government and that romance with all these criminals. The same president, for example, that happened to be the grand patron of Miyetti Allah and those people that are aiding terrorism in Nigeria. That's not so. I don't expect so much from the military, but the fact that they declare this organization a terror organization, anybody that will take action post Buhari, should be now. What will happen now? Nobody can just wake up now post Buhari now. If someone take action against them, that if Oshibajo or someone becomes the president tomorrow and they decide to use all the military might and decimate these people aggressively, even if you decide to kill them in millions, is having some kind of legal backing now to do so, not just by executive order alone now. So that's the way I'm seeing all those things. I'm not too optimistic that Buhari will now send soldiers or all those. No. They won't do that. But can it happen post Buhari? And the person that will carry that thing out after Buhari, we have that God to do so. Yes, he has to go back now, because so now all this type of law is what they can refer to several years later. That is what is interesting there. So to me, it's a good move, even though if it is Malami or whosoever that is bringing that in, if it's political or whatever, good. Even if it's political, at least they play themselves into that trap. Not for today. I believe it's for the future. So to me, it's a good thing. If someone can just move ahead now, declare the like of Buhari now criminal, go to court and say because they plan coup, all those coup plotters now. If someone can go to court, for example, and secure judgment to declare all those people that plan coup criminal, honestly, these guys, they won't have chance of crawling in back to into our political arena again. That's the way I see the judgment. But whether that one will help them reduce the terrorism in Nigeria, for now, under Buhari, honestly, I'm cautiously optimistic. Maybe I could say I'm very pessimistic. So I don't have any hope that Buhari will do that until Buhari is after. Because where is this, there's nothing Buhari has done now, for example, that we say that by now, in a serious country, Buhari should have been impeached, even in the second year. Not for him to even come for another term. So, to me, it's a good thing. What Buhari refused to do, at least the judiciary, at least I have some kind of little hope that even if just pronouncement, let them keep pronouncing it. We've heard out of Sunday Igboho what they did. We've heard this one too, what they've done about these bandits that are now they've decided terrorists. It's a good thing. Let them keep that record. The record we are keeping today, nobody will be able to use it to test Nigerian populace lies like they did in case of Buhari tomorrow. So that's just the way I see it.
All right, thank you, Ola. So, Ola, let me go on to Bia, who is also with us. Bia, are you still there?
One man, if you don't mind, please, can you go to Sister Sally B, because we haven't seen her for a while, if she's available.
All right, then to the silky tones of Sally B's. Sally B's, are you there? Look at that. The gremlins have gotten Sally B's. Sally B's, it's been that long, you don't even know how to work the system anymore. Come on now, Sally, you can do it. Look at that. Sally B's. It's all that boxing that you have been doing, isn't it? Are you still doing the boxing, Sally? Okay, I think Sally is having some system issues. So let me come to you, Bia, and sample your opinion then. The Alpha One of Umal here, the Igbo guy known as Nnamdi Kanu, the Malams, they don't want him released. What are you making of it, Bia?
Well, they say charity should begin at home. They should start from their domain. All the corrupt politicians before Nnamdi was born, they should start, prosecuting them. Even, I just find them so funny, turning politics upside down, playing it like, a bad football, not even a good one. It's appalling and laughable. It's like they are pointing fingers at Nnamdi Kanu. And then are they perfect themselves? Are they justified by their actions of the way they are borrowings and ruining the economy and success of Nigeria, destroying the future plans of the unborn children of Nigeria, causing their own teenage youths to commit suicide, destroying the country, no hope, a land of hopelessness because of the actions of the corrupt politicians in Nigeria who have swallowed and eaten their conscience. Well, they don't have a heart. If they have a heart, Nnamdi's voice is speaking for some people, maybe not all Nigerians, but the reason why the IPOBians are maybe reckoning by him, some may not even know him, but because of some sort of struggle or ill feelings, going to the university for maybe 6-10 years because of Nigerian strike, graduating, and then you've gone to look for a job. Someone in the north who didn't even, have get a first class or 2-2 will get to be your director, and you will be the gate man. Imagine how painful. Why don't he deal with the problems Nigerians are going through? Then maybe the likes of Nnamdi would never have ever risen. If he deals with Nnamdi, another Nnamdi will rise up, another Sunday will rise up, and it's not just about secession or want to divide Nigeria. People are not happy because some things are not right in Nigeria. Nigeria is swallowing in poverty and getting backward, while other African countries that don't even have as much human and earthly gifts that are given to us freely like that have been subdued for selfish interests. Imagine the Buhari and some I would say some of them in the north.
Who is the Buhari? You mean Buhari?
Buhari, the Buhari, because we have more than one Buhari, as in Malami. Malami is the Buhari. Malami is the Buhari. We have many presidents, don't you know? Do you think it's Buhari that is ruling us? He's got people telling him things
we're
to
being
do.
ruled by a silicon mask. We all know
Yeah.
that.
No, I don't believe in that. After all, anyone they've got their opinions, but my opinion is that Buhari is listening to Malami. Malami is Buhari. He's the one ruling the country and other cabals. So you can't be stinking and smelling rotten, and then you're calling another person rotten. You need to clean yourself, wash your mouth first before you call someone smelly. That's the way it goes.
All right, thank you, Bia. And to the designation of the herdsmen as terrorists now, the Fulani bandits as terrorists now, are too little too late, or better late than never?
I just believe it's a political move. They know why. Why now? All these while people have been dying, crying, complaining, mourning about the decimation about the ill treatment by the Fulani herdsmen. What did they do? Kids, children were killed unjustly. What stopped them all these years? All these years. Why now that they just woke up one day and they are just fooling us, one man? I don't believe they can just give the name, but they're not going to walk the walk to reduce crime by these Fulani herdsmen. It's going to be a law they make to seem as if it's for all, but actually it's to antagonize some, while some part, the Fulani herdsmen will still be rejoicing. Let them go there and do to them. Let them go and do so many python dances to them there, and let's see if their charity is beginning at home.
I wonder what they are going to call the dance with the Fulanis. Will it be Fura de Nono dance or Burukutu dance, or which one?
I don't know. Buruntashi dance.
Burukutu dance.
It could be Buruntashi dance.
Which one is Buruntashi?
Ask Ovi.
No, I don't. If it's a dirty word, I don't want to know.
Where is Ovi? Where are you? If you're listening, come here. Sister Selling B, you ran away and left us. Come on, what's up?
All right. So to the silky tones of Selly B, she's going to be
welcome back. Let me just give space to the queen.
she's been eating those vegetables in the creeks. Have you been to the creeks to eat vegetables, Celibis? They were telling us that you've been renditioned by Abubakar Malami. How true is that?
Okay. No. I've been very much around, very local, really.
All right.
You know, so many things happened now. Then I had my graduation, then I had my son's birthday.
Well done. Congratulations. Yeah.
There's so much going on. Thank you.
That was an MBA you were doing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
All right, look at that. We have an intellectual at last, in our midst, So, what do we do now? All we all those now. We're speaking to somebody, an academic in our midst,
One man, let's vote for her to become the president of Nigeria.
That's a good one, though.
Let's have a female president as Salibi.
You've attempted politics once, Seri.
Yes, I have.
All right, yes. And I think I done
wanted to represent my local government and the neighboring one.
I will vote for John Lekoko as well. I'll vote for him.
What about me? Would you vote for me?
One man, I will vote for you because you act like half Fulani, half other tribe. I don't understand you. Today you're Fulani, tomorrow you're Igbo, next day you're
All I want is to have my own kingdom in Igbo land. This is what I want. And go and introduce Amala to Igbo land. But
you are really looking for trouble.
No, Bia is not.
Don't mind me and the one man. I know him. Don't worry.
All right. Thank you. Okay. So to that designation, Bia, what are you making of it? The bandits now terrorists. So tell us something we don't know. They've done enough. What else did they need to have done to have arrived at this point? They've been terrorizing the country for 6 solid years. So at last, the Abokis have been dragged, kicking and screaming to the designation. What are you making of that announcement, Celibis?
I always see, their response as usually, like childish. Like when you have 2 children, you give one does something and then you give them something and then the other one is asking to have, their own and so on. So is that kind of, it's so childish, so naive. This is a serious situation that concerns the East and mostly the East. It doesn't really matter if Nnamdi Kanu is saying that the East should depart from Nigeria because he is dealing with the East. He's dealing with his own people. He's activating his own people. So they have been doing their own stuff. Gumi has been doing his own stuff. All their governors have been doing their own stuff. They've been responding in their own way. Always, just, sticking together, against the South. And, that call is basically just obvious. And I see no reason why we spend so much time, making this so diplomatic when in their case, they just call it out the way it is. Now, what has it got to do with them? How many people, since Nnamdi Kanu has been killing people, how many people has he killed? How many people have been killed in the north over the years by these bandits, right from Zamfara to Kaduna to even close by Niger State, which is quite close to Abuja.
They wiped out half the population of Borno State. These people, they've wiped out half the population of Borno State over the last 6 years.
And the kidnappings of children, the disruption of school years, just look at the total disruption that's going on in the north, which is affecting the entire Nigeria. So if not for the little bits of the south that are still sane, got some kind of sanity, nobody will want to even make the mistake of coming to Nigeria. So they don't realize the kind of image they are giving the country. And I know, I think one of your speakers, a new guy here, speaks very well. Is he X0?
X0. No, is an old hand, but he comes in every now and then, just like you.
Okay.
And the new people now will think you're a new face, but Salibi has been with us all the way through.
Yeah, so X0 has spoken very well all day. I quite enjoyed his channels and his approach to the whole thing, which is quite objective. That's the way to actually be. But we've gone beyond that kind of coming to reason. And me, if I'm looking at it, I'm looking at it from a management point of view, that we need to do some segmentations. And those segmentations, so even if we have to live together, I mean, as one country, we need to do some serious segmentation so people can actually go, and concentrate on exactly what they want to do and bring that back to the table. You'll find that we're going to be more defined. Even England, Scotland is still very defined away from England. And Northern Ireland is still very defined away from England. Never mind, they all speak English or whatever other native languages they have, but they still speak English. Just like Nigeria too. So we just need to readdress, rearrange, reorganize, basically. Let's not use restructure. We need to reorganize because there's no way we're going to continue patching the structure that is dead in attitude, dead with corruption. Corruption has basically finished Nigeria. So when we say the only country that, you can even, vouch for is Rwanda, but just look at what Rwanda went through. They basically had to start the whole system again from the scratch. And mind you, they're not like over boisterous like us Nigerians. They are quite calm, much more calm than we are. So, and everybody is educated, everybody's an intellect, especially in the South. So we really need to sit down, and for me, we need to sit down and address this. And I feel the North is very naive to make that kind of response, knowing full well all the things that are going on in the South and all the revelations that have actually come out as per how Iramdi Kanu was, kidnapped from Kenya, whatever name they call it. This is all coming out to play, and it's not even helping the politics of the day for anyone. So if they keep saying that the North has all the population and has all the problems, good. So what about the South? South can say, well, we have all the oil, we have all the cocoa, whatever. So, we should take some kind of electoral college that is larger than even our numbers, if our numbers be wrong. So we have to really, bring this conversation closer so that they can talk, we can talk, they can talk, we can talk. But then just talking amongst themselves and then coming out with some kind of loaded whatever statement, it's just very infuriates everyone. That's the way I see it.
All right, thank you, Sally. Really good to see you. You look refreshed, and the weight of all that lugging of books up and down lifted. Or is it the boxing? Are you still doing the boxing?
I've been a little bit lazy about the boxing, to be quite honest. But I've been running up the hill and down. So
wow.
I run up the hill and then I walk down.
So are we going to see you in the London Marathon in the summer? That's the challenge for you and Bia. You and Bia.
One man, you can run it with her, please.
No, me, I'm too.
Imagine you running one man.
You know what it took me to get this fat? Then I'll start losing weight. You know the amount of effort it took me to be. No, don't worry.
We all do it together. For what country we're going to do it for is what I don't know. But we all do it together one of these days.
There you go, London Marathon. There was something I wanted to do once. There was this bike club I wanted to. It's just a bunch of Nigerians as well, but they cycled from I think Kent all the way to some village in France. I wanted to join that, but I just thought, man, I just. And then I just had to back out of it, and but it's
it's very good. I think I did something about that when I was doing tourism.
So you need to be fit. You need to be fit a little bit to do that,
And I remember,
pack up.
Yeah, no, but that is the process itself, because of course you have to train to do it. So it's not just, you don't just hop on the bike, but the whole process itself is just to get fit something. But I remember some Igbo girl as well. She joined this biker club. So this is a motorcycle bike. And she biked all the way from Lagos, I think, to Borno in this day and age. That if I find her online, I'll probably, put a clip. She biked and people were saying, are you insane? You know, there was
It's
about
very
5 or
fast
6 of
though.
them. It's like a biker club. Yeah.
It's very fast and very thrilling, actually. You don't really feel it. You
Yes.
don't feel the danger because of the
Yeah.
speed. And it can be safe in that if the armed robbers are not pursuing you with their own power bikes. So
so there it is. So good to see you, Sally. So Sally, we are making the conscious decision to cap the sessions no longer than 4 hours, which we're fast approaching now. So we'll seek to start to round off here, and so we'll start with you. Actually, let's start with Thomas. So we start with Thomas to land on Sally. So Thomas, because we need to hold on to you for as long as we can, Sally, because we've not seen enough of you for too long. So Thomas, to you, just in a minute or so, just your parting words.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. I haven't met Sally. Welcome back.
Thank you.
I just joined. Yeah, I've been watching for so long, but I just joined the club. So welcome back. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
I would just say Nigeria needs to move forward if we are conscious of what is going on in our society. We should try to be together, even though it's very difficult to be together. But I know if you have a leader that has the mind of the people at heart, we can still be together. We can still be together. But if we can't be together, let everybody go and set their separate ways, and let everybody take care of their region. But if we can be together, I would love us to be together. Thank you, everybody. May God bless everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you, Thomas.
And God bless you too. So as succinctly and elegantly as Thomas, to Ola, your words.
Yeah. Good one today, at least, that we heard that the judiciary, they've done another thing again. They impressed me from that area of VAT, and now the issue of designating this Buhari family, they've given them the right name. So, like I said, I'm not expecting any miracle to happen now, but at least whosoever we want to use the instrument to tackle the problem tomorrow, at least we having some kind of legal backing. And one good thing again, one thing I want to say again, just to carry it on from where Thomas finished it the other time, is the nation of Nigeria. I don't think we can ever, even if we pretend to be together now, we can't be together in the long term, because when we see all these countries where we see their progress, you can't see the situation. You can't see them as diverse as Nigeria. Why? When I'm talking of diversity, I'm talking of diversity from the religious angle. You know, where some people want to use that instrument to dominate to dominate another group, it's not going to work. So the earlier we start working towards that situation where we can just be on our own, the better. So thank you, everyone. We hope to see you later.
All right, thank you, Ola. Always good to hear from you. So hopefully he's recovered enough from the beating he took from Mike to give us the elegance that he came in with. We'll find out soon enough as we go to X0 to see if he's still with us. X0, are you there? Okay. I think Mike had landed the knockout blow. So X0, are you there? Okay, so there you are. So thank you, X0, and good to hear from you, X0. Still, from X0, we're going to be your words.
Nigeria, to me, is not working. We need to go back to the drawing board. We have an idea, at least, why we can't work together, and it's not good enough to start patching a country with over or almost 200 million people. We're quite big, and maybe we're becoming too big for our shoes. I believe we should look back inwards to our regions and begin to rebuild our regions, give power back to the regional areas of Nigeria, you know, I know the word restructuring sounds somehow, but I believe that going back to the drawing board, we'll be able to, collectively and as a team, bring out the best rule of law that will benefit everyone, not just for the few who think that they want to be the masters, even though they are foreigners. Nigeria had been so kind to those set of people. Nigeria gave them the platform and opportunity to jump into the military without even being properly educated to read and write. How can you govern people without commanding, without having the skills and knowledge to hold a position? You don't know how to manage people. You don't know how to communicate well with people. You take things, you bring religion into politics, knowing fully well that Nigeria has so many beautiful sections of that makes us unique people with our different tribes and different belief system. So we need to give everyone a chance to become special that they deserve in Nigeria. I don't believe that Nigeria is gonna, in the next 20 years, are we still gonna have a country to be proud of? I'm very doubtful unless something is done. That's it. Thank you, everyone. And nice to
I
have
agree
you back,
with you,
Selika.
my sister. I agree with you.
All right. Thank you, Bia. Powerful words from Bia. But then you've missed her for long enough, and she shied away from us for long enough. A lot of you may not recognize, but the silky tones of Sally Beats. Sally, to you.
Yeah, so well, I'm back, and every day I'm on YouTube, on WhatsApp, Facebook. It's all about Nigeria and all the blunders going on with this so-called guy that's supposed to be the Attorney General of the nation, the Chief Justice of the nation, making silly mistakes and just talking like he's an absolute illiterate sometimes. We are really in a very difficult situation. Like one of the speakers said earlier, and I remember saying that we don't even know who is actually leading Nigeria. And if we don't know who is leading Nigeria, we as a people do not have contacts with someone who is supposed to be the leader of a very great country with a huge number of people, 200 million going, then something is really wrong. And so for me, we can just piece the whole story together, and it's really an easy puzzle. There's really a very big divide between the North and the South. It's not as bad as within the South, because even within the South, we have divides, but you cannot say that is that far apart. There's so much going on, so much bickering, so much animosity from the North. The North is so totally, in fact, it's almost totally destroyed from what I can see, because I don't know how they're going to stem these issues that's been going on with bandits, herdsmen, and so on and so forth. It's quite a big area to look at. So I would strategically think that everyone, like I said earlier, should actually go back to their tents and work from their tents and come back and say what they can give. If that works out, if everybody agrees, we go on, and we go on with our new style, a new brand, a new people, a new ideas, innovations, and so on. So we know exactly, where we are heading for. And so the North can actually, cover their own plans. I believe there are areas of the North that we want to bring out, like the North Central.
Have we lost you, Sally? I think we've lost Sally a little bit. No, yeah, I think her system may have frozen. But and Sally was just, I was rather enjoying that. But that was Sally B. It's just a little soupçon of what we've always enjoyed to the new people to this space. So that was Sally B. I hope people can hear me, or is it my system that is frozen? Let me just check. If you can hear me, just indicate in the comment section. If you can't hear me, let's see. Okay, so no, that's brilliant. Okay, so yeah, so that was Sally Bees. We'll hear more from her. Hopefully now she's finished with at least because knowing Sally now, she'll probably go for a PhD. She just loves to learn. So that was Sally Bees. Just fleshing out the Nigerian narrative for us. So hopefully we hear from you soon enough again, Sally Bees, and not that longer gap between when we last heard from you. So I'll leave it there. Carry the conversation on within the comment section, but here I say peace.